welcome to Richmond Oval for the preliminary final in the Adelaide Footy League Division 1 season. Today's two teams have got here via very different routes. One has been top three all season. They've looked grand final bound since the very opening round. The other has had to battle its way just to play finals. But right now, they're on a roll, playing its best footy of the year. The Glenunga Rams, they've already made it to the grand finale. Today, one of these two will join them. Supporting us all season are great live stream sponsors, the Banner Crew 9 News, Buddy Bet, Sporthill Roll the Dice Racing, Archie's Footwear, Programs to Fit, Farmers Leap Winery, Startfish, Sports Interactive and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Coming up, it's Prince Alfred Old Collegians against Tea Tree Gully. It's grand final or bust. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League. It is a gorgeous, warm, totally blue sky day, not a cloud to be found, and we've got a hot footy game, the prelim final Division 1. Phil Hurdham and Adam Jeffries with you. Don't worry, Tommy Javoy, he's out and about, will join us very shortly, but Adam, definite feeling of finals in the air, but probably not the matchup that we were expecting.
Yeah, I agree. Certainly with the heat, it is warm. And what is it, 24 degrees today? It feels like 30, doesn't it? It's very warm out here, which players will be used to this time of year. It's exciting after a long, cold winter. Yeah, not the matchup we thought, but you don't accidentally make a prelim either if you're Tea Tree Gully, do you? They've earned the right to be here with some fantastic play, and good luck to them today.
Prince Alfred shooting for their third grand final. They're probably the most consistent side in the Adelaide Footy League the past 6 or 7 years. What do they need to fix from last week in their loss to Glenunga to get a rematch next week?
Well, first of all, they love this ground, Phil. I've seen them win prelims and grand finals out here the last 2 years by big margins because it just has the space for them to move the football, which is their one wood. So they'll be very pleased to be here at this ground today, and they'll come in pretty confident knowing that they've got a genuine home ground advantage here today.
And Tea Tree Gully, 8 and 10 coming into the finals, but their best form, no doubt. Multi-layered question for you. What have they changed to get the wins, and can they win today?
I think we saw during the season they definitely struggled a little bit with personnel. They don't have the depth of some of the other clubs, so when their B graders are called upon, their performance can drop off a little bit. They've got personnel back, but now they're doing both phases of the game well. They're scoring and they're defending. Some of their defending during the year probably wasn't up to scratch. They had some big scores kicked against them in round 9. I saw Prince Alfred kick 17, 18 goals against them, but they fixed up that end, only allowing Sacred Heart 9 goals last week and a perfect day for football. And they've got some weapons in the front half, and they can put a decent enough score on the board. For them, they need a fast start. If Prince Alfred get 3 or 4 goals ahead early, it could be a long, hot day. But if Tea Tree Gully can just even be a point up at quarter time, the longer it goes, the better they'll feel.
And the more pressure Prince Alfred might suddenly feel. Okay, buddy bet time now. Gamble responsibly, folks. It's warm. It's a big ground. Plenty of room to run all day if you can. So we're thinking it might be a high-scoring affair.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously at Glenunga last week we saw a tough battle on a tight, smaller oval. Today with the wind, the big oval, the grass, the way it is, I think we're going to see a combined 150 points here. I think you're going to have to score to win. You're going to have to kick, 80 plus points to win today. So I'm going for 150 plus combined. Phil, what do you think?
Look, I'll take 149 below. I expect it to be pretty hot on the field. It's certainly going to be that off. We'll be back after the break with Tommy Javoy, the teams, and the first bounce. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League.
Folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
And welcome to Hisense Stadium, aka Richmond Oval. It is a beautiful blue sky day. It's a hot day, and it's going to be some great footy. Prelim final, Division 1, and Filming Footy is here to bring it all to you. Tommy Javor, Adam Jeffries, joining me, Phil Herden, and Tommy, this was not the match that we were expecting even 2-3 weeks ago.
No, mate, finals could do funny things. Just ask Melbourne, and let's hopefully not ask Port. And the Glenunga B-grade are about to make their way from a team that needed to win their last 2 games into the finals. They've won their way in the finals. They're about to play in a grand final, the 2. So anything could happen in the A's today, Adam Jeffries?
Yeah, I agree with that. I shouldn't say a surprising scoreboard here in the B grade. Glenunga have been really good.
Yeah,
but Prince Alfred, 2 goals on a beautiful day with their ball movement systems. Quite a surprise, but that's football, isn't it?
Jack Matchett kicks back-to-back goals. The Matchett, the hatchet. And he'll be pushing for an A-grade recall next week, Phil.
We were just saying that. I think there'll be a couple of players. Matchett's stiff, in my opinion. He had some great A-grade games this year, but that is what makes Glenunga a great club this year, is players of his ilk playing B-grade.
Well, Prince Alfred have 4 teams playing today. Can tell you the C7s got up 10 goals over Golden Grove in the early game here. C1s are about to wrap up. We'll try and get you a score through the course of the afternoon. Going for, actually,
C8s as well. Mate.
C8, sorry. It's the C8s playing because the C1s are already in undefeated. They got the week off. B's here trailing at the moment by 7 goals. And, of course, the A's to play Teacher Gully very shortly. Let's have a look at our first graphic for the afternoon.
Or as Tony
just
New
to
would
see
say,
what it's going to be.
a graphic. Trying to fill some
It's
time.
the Prince Alfred. I wasn't sure we were going to get a ladder of the Prince Alfred history. It is the Prince Alfred history. We talk about it a fair bit. They're going to have a big year in 2026, 100 years as an old collegiates group. Very old club, looking for their 3rd A1 premiership and their 3rd grand final in a row. Tommy Javor, I'll ask you first. Is anything less than a grand final seen as a disappointment for Prince Alfred?
Yes, for this Prince Alfred team it is. They're on paper, they certainly have the best list. They've got 1,058, probably people are sick of this stat, 1,058 ex-sample AFL games. They've got the cattle. It's prelim final day. The cattle must now perform against all the overachievers that are Teachery Gully, or it is a letdown and a wasted season.
we have a look at their time in recent years, I guess, just to make the point. Premiers D1 in 2015, so D2 2015. D2 to D1 Premiers back-to-back's not a bad effort. Remember that 2021 season where they won here against Payneham Norwood Union, and then last year they won the preliminary final here. Absolutely smashed the Goodwood Saints. Adam, they're going to be favourites today. How do you protect as a coach against getting ahead of yourself?
Yeah, when you lose the previous week, that's the best tonic for a coach to review the game and review the game hard. But the one Achilles heel that Prince Alfred has, like Tommy's spot on, their spread of talent is unrivaled. But they do have a deficiency in their makeup, and that's their key position stocks. They're very good down back, but they don't have a tall forward bailout kick, and they don't have a ruckman that can do that for them. So this is why they've struggled against Glenunga recently. They can't bring the ball to ground on the high ball. And it'll be interesting to see if Teacher Gully try and test him in that area today. If the ball hits the ground in their front half, Prince Alfred will win by a lot. But if Teacher Gully can intercept, I'd be setting Luke Brown up a kick behind as an interceptor. That's only Achilles heel that Prince Alfred has is their tall forward department. Brazel's a good player, but he's not a crash and bash forward, is he, Tommy? He's a finisher. He's a great one-on-one player, but he's not going to hit a pack and bring the ball to ground. So
they get time and space, he'll lead up and kick 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But without the time and space, it becomes a lot harder for them.
And that's why they enjoy this deck. They would have chosen to play here if they had the choice.
All right, let's have a look at Prince Alfred's season fairly quickly. And you can see there a lot of green. The defeats: Port District in round 4, Sacred Heart round 14, Glenunga round 17, and Glenunga just the 8 points. And what was a game, I think Glenunga, well, they led most of the time. It was just maybe a purple patch in the third quarter. Probably showed Prince Alfred, if they can get a run, could match the Rams next week.
Yeah, it's interesting. You take out the round 8 game against Glenunga, which they won, which is a low-scoring affair. Pretty clear, if they don't get 9 goals or 55 points, they don't win. All of their losses, they've scored 42, 43, 55, 43 is a real repetition and consistency about that. And, of course, the draw with Goodwood, which I commentated, was just 2 goals, 15. How they only scored 27 that day was a mystery.
If it's a shootout, they're the favourites, aren't they?
Yeah. Then all of a sudden the game opens up. Jolly gets some ball, easier ball. They need this to be, I think we talked about it last week, they need this to be a 12 to 14 to 10 game, not an 8 goals to 8 game, because it could cost them.
Well, 10 goals to 15 would suit Adam nicely, because the buddy bet today is Adam's 150 plus, I'm at 149 minus. Let's have a look at the Prince Alfred team, of which there are 2 changes from the side we saw last week. Out Kobe Tozer, and a late change, number 6, Mackenzie Slee, is also an omission. Coming in number 30, Jordan Neal. That brings the ruck stocks to normal. That brings the points back to normal, which means Jaden Davis, the league's leading goal kicker who played the 2s last week, is back playing the 1s, which I think we all agree is a plus for Prince Alfred.
Yeah, it was still I'm still shocked that the league's leading goal kicker couldn't play last week. It would have been interesting to see what happened if they couldn't bring in Neil and Tozer was suspended. It would have been very interesting to see. But Davis, he'll kick 3 or 4 goals today, Davis. He'll have a point to prove, but strong across the ground. But Slee was very good last week, wasn't he? I thought he was one that got them back in the game. He went on ball, ran with Davis, kicked a great goal. That's a big out for Prince Alfred. Not sure what his injury is, guys, but if they get through, they'll need him back.
Softens them up in defence just a little bit. All right, that's Prince Alfred. Let's switch it over to the surprise packet of the 2023 final season, Teacher Gully. We know they go back to 1862. That's a long time ago. Huge club, over 800 players. I was there in 2018. It was a magic day at Thebby.
They were there in 1862.
No, there in 2018 for their first ever Div 1 flag. That was a special day. They ended up in Div 2 shortly after. They won a Div 2 flag and got promoted. For Athelston in the year, there was no promotion. Been an average team so far in Div 1, but have suddenly found a purple patch. Adam Jeffries, what have they done?
Yeah, like we said in the pre-match, it's an interesting look, isn't it? So I believe Teacher Gully don't have the depth of some of the other Division 1 teams. When they have 5 or 6 injuries or availabilities, their B grade aren't as strong as the Glenunga's out here today and Prince Alfred. So they struggle with availability, their performance waned. They got early wins on the board, which helped them stay afloat. But now they've got personnel back and they're scoring and they're defending more than importantly. I saw games this year where they struggled to stop the opposition. The way they've used Luke Brown has been first class, and other coaches around the league need to note where to use your star players. Don't have them performing in the phone box. Get them into space so they can cause maximum damage. If I'm Prince Alfred, that's going to be interesting for me, Tommy, is Prince Alfred are the heavy favourites and probably don't think they need to tag. If you leave Luke Brown on his own today, you're foolish, in my opinion.
I made a point in a weekly wrap on Between the Posts. I think in more than one segment, and even chatting with Tickets Penny today before the game, I think they'll tag Luke Brown. Look, the stats are pretty simple, mate. They make good reading. 75 touches and 21 clearances across 2 weeks. You halve it. It doesn't matter how you look at it. And each week a goal, a really important goal. We talk about Sam Walsh, how he's game developed and what he's done in finals. It's not the 34, it's the 34 and 2. He's getting forward and he's not just kicking goals, he's setting them up, and he's just been unbelievable.
It's a mindset tagging, though, isn't it? When you think you're a lot better than the opposition, you don't go in to tag. When you're the underdog, you got to take something away from the opponents, and that'd be interesting to see what Prince Alfred's coaches have done this week. You still got to take something away from the opposition, so it'll be interesting to see.
Let's have a look, Teacher Gully, this season. You'll see this year that good start.
Ugly Reading in there, Phil, some of this season.
Yeah, 4-9, some very low scores.
Fell into a yawning chasm.
Yeah, I can see a 21, a 23, and 18 against Prince Alfred. Old Collegians, 27 Glenunga. But they've won 4 of their last 5. And so they've got back into the winners list. That only loss was to Prince Alfred, which was tight in the first half, but Prince Alfred broke it open in the second. As the siren goes in the B. And the Rams have got a double delight at Norwood next week. Get there early, Rams fans, because you'll have a B's team to cheer on, and then the A's going at it.
Roaming Tommy doing the rounds in the Glenunga pre-match. So I'm really proud of the boys. Congratulations, Glenunga.
They'll need a new runner, the Glenunga Bees, but the coach will be busy, I think.
Yeah, coming from 8th last year or 7th last year, through to a grand final, outstanding effort by all. Just quickly, sorry, boys, congratulations to Jimmy Hanlon and Jesse Tammy on their 50th games today, and Tommy Edwards' life membership, 150 games, into a grand final on his big day. Well done, boys. Sorry.
Absolutely. As we go back to Teacher Gully and their team, 2 changes for them. James Harley comes out number 14, replaced by Jack Hazelhurst wearing number 14. And here's a big out, William Cansdell.
That's not right, mate. We've got a bit of a wonky
that's Glenunga.
That's Glenunga on the right-hand line, and it's Teacher Gully on the left. So apologies to anyone watching.
Right,
we have not had
we'll move along.
12 changes.
Okay. There are 2 changes for Teacher Gully. Just quickly, Hazelhurst and Dylan Wilson are in. James Harley and William Cansdell are out. This is what makes you think it could be one-way traffic, because that was certainly, Adam, the story of their opening game, their 2 games so far.
Gentlemen, I'm going to jump in and say thanks for having me. I'm going to be doing this a lot today. I'm going to take off. We're going to get down. I want to get the coin toss conditions. Will you be crossing to me in a little bit, will you, Phil?
Yeah, for the coin toss and ground conditions.
I love that. Thanks, boys. All yours.
Yeah, so I was at Phil. I was at the round 9 game and called the game that Prince Alfred absolutely did a number on Teacher Gully that day, which is a bit of a shame. I know Teacher Gully had availability issues that day, and I believe Luke Brown came off with a hamstring in the first half of that game and really made it tough. And Prince Alfred just had no pressure applied to them and were able to move the football around.
Yeah. So they are the graphics at the moment, and that Prince Alfred game was round 9. Tozer and Brazil kicked 4 goals each, Davis 3. Between them, those 3 players altogether outscored Teacher Gully, a 97-point win. In that second game, it was actually a 9-point margin at half-time. Teacher Gully, to lock in a finals berth, could have done that with a win. In the end, they got a little bit of help with percentage. But they were outscored 9 goals to 3 in the second half. Tyson Brazel kicked 5 goals. And Jack Trenko, who's just become Uncle Jack again, according to the paper this morning, he bobbed in for 3. Of course, it is a massive day across the Adelaide Footy League. Prince Alfred, the A's are ready to roll. We have got 22 finals happening today across 8 different locations, 20 preliminary finals, and 2 Division 7 grand finals, including one that we are streaming with Filming Footy today, the CMAX Clinical Research Division 7 grand final. That is between Engle Farm and Houghton. Those teams already promoted to Div 6 battling for the premiership. Next week, 6 A-grade finals. I think there's 20 grand finals in total. Who have we got in the prelims today? Of course, these games, Adam, as Teacher Gully hit the field, doing the traditional West Adelaide strip.
Yes,
I feel right at home with all the red and black around the ground. These games are huge because the winner goes not just to a grand final, but goes up a division next year. So Division 2 at Woodville, it's Foss Camden and Payneham Norwood Union.
Both of those clubs are desperate, Phil, for promotion. Payneham, I know for a fact. Foss have been in and around the market Div 2 for many years and haven't been able to climb back into Div 1. So that's a fascinating game, that one. Foss on the rebound after a huge loss last week out at Golden Grove. There's a lot riding on that.
Yeah, the winner of that one will get Golden Grove next week, a venue to be determined. The Division 3 prelim is at Norwood this week. This is between Modbury and the Unley Mercedes Jet. Modbury were the minor premiers, but Flinders Park upset them last week and took the direct route to Div 2.
Good luck to my old friends out there at Unley. It's been a grind for them the last 3 or 4 years, but they've got players back and a great coach in Scott Thompson. They're the underdogs in that game. Modbury are a very good team, had an unexpected loss last week, but Unley did beat Modbury at Modbury this season. One of only their 2 losses for the season. They're at full strength. That will be a really good game. We'll try and get some scores through if we can, Phil.
Yeah, Div 4 talk about an upset. Paraka being beaten by Lockleys last week. The Demons going straight through the minor premiers, Paraka at Glenelg. So they got a fair hike playing CBC Old Collegians.
Yeah, that'll be a good game. I've got a lot of time. I know the president of CBC Old Coles, and he's a ripping bloke, and I know he's very keen to get his club back into Division 3. They've been a really good Division 3 club, just got relegated last year, CBC, so look for them to bounce back.
Division 5, this will be at Campbelltown. Jeps Cross, the minor premiers, won last week. This will be between Colonel Light Gardens, who finished 3rd, and Kilburn celebrating their centenary, who got upset by Colonel Light Gardens 2 weeks ago. Can the Lions make it 2 out of 2, or will the Chicks get some revenge?
Yeah, Kilburn have just had a little mini resurgence, haven't they? And they'll be very keen to climb up another division. I expect Kilburn to get through.
All right, coin toss not too far away. We'll give you the Div 6 in just a sec when that has concluded. So, Chad Makers has won the toss, kicking to the southern end. And we'll go down to Tommy Javor.
Yeah, thanks, boys. As I just heard you say, Phil, Shoei has won the toss. They'll kick to your right, or the right of screen. You wouldn't look up to looking around, but there is actually a breeze. There's a slight breeze when you put the ball up. Maybe a goal. We saw the Nugget come home with it very strong. Apart from that, very firm deck in the middle, and I'm talking very firm. But like a billiard table all over. The ground's in magnificent condition. Who's it going to suit? The wide open expanses? You'd think PAC, but I don't know. What have Tea Tree Gully got to lose? They've overachieved already. They're a puncher's chance all day. Hopefully your cough subdues a little bit throughout the day, Phil. I'm getting a bit of that. But out here, good crowd. Tea Tree Gully mainly over there. You've got your PAC to your right. Both teams looking keen, looking energetic. Tommy Sumner's dad's just come and said g'day, said we're doing a great job. I'm excited, boys. It's prelim final. Let's let the players do their thing. Back to you, boys, up in the box.
Yeah, thanks for that, TJ. Yeah, just got a bug. This came out of nowhere. Greenacres, Salisbury, Div 6.
Yeah, hard to pick. But you don't want to be in Div 6, do you? Know a couple of guys out at Salisbury. I'll give them the chocolates today to win the promotion, Phil. See how they go. Big, busy day of football. Preliminary finals. Grand final day is always exciting, isn't it? But preliminary finals are the hardest ones to win. Promotion on the line, not just the grand final berth. So good luck to all those clubs today.
And the last one we'll keep an eye on, Ingle Farm and Houghton, Div 7 grand final today.
Yeah, love a grand final. I just love saying Houghton.
Houghton!
I just love saying that. So, yeah, good luck to Houghton in the grand final.
Against the Farmers, who will be pretty strong favourites. The umpires today, Mark Hill, Tony Simons, and the field umpires, Sam Scarman, Tristan Rogers, Boundary, Steve Martin, Jason Rigg. Goal umpires. Okay, time for a prediction, Adam.
Yeah, look, I'm a big fan of Justin Machota and Teacher Gully and what they've done. But Prince Alfred by 5 or 6 goals for mine. I'll be a big turn up if that doesn't happen. But anything can happen. Sleed, the laid out, which we only just made aware of, is a big out. Prince Alfred need to tag Luke Brown. If they tag Luke Brown, they'll win the game. Let's see what happens when the bounce happens in a minute.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a case of how long can Tea Tree Gully stick with Prince Alfred. I know that I went on the weekend wrap and on behalf of everybody said we were wrong and apologised on behalf of all the experts that no one said Tea Tree Gully will get this far. I just get the feeling Prince Alfred at this ground where they've had so much success, a team that's been built for grand final redemption next week.
This ground, Phil, gives them a massive advantage. They love playing here, Prince Alfred.
It does, indeed.
And watch the ruck battle is going to be interesting for mine. The only ruckman in this league that has troubled Penny, Phil, this year has been Neil in the round 9 game. Neil is a cagey customer. He gets up early and he's a left-hander, so he makes it really, really hard for Blake Penny to grab the ball out of the ruck, which is what he'll try straight away. Let's see what happens, Phil.
All righty. Siren's gone to get us underway. You're with Tommy Javor.
Penny holds his ground. Just had a chat with his mum. Plenty of feedback. You better get it right today, boys. She'll be up here. First kick, Curran, out wide. PAC, lost my breath, boys. Lovely turn there.
Josh Perks, who came in as the emergency, finds a target, and Andrew Bradley and PAC are going to get a shot in the first 20 seconds of this ball game.
Well, we talked about that experience, and that experience needs to lift. And I think Tea Tree Gully's only real show today is to get a good start, but this will be the perfect start for PAC.
Perfect start for them. Neil up early, won the clearance himself against Penny. That's where that just easy takeaway came from.
Yes, seriously, Blake Penny's mum's on our pronunciation, so it's not Penny, it's Penny. All right, Andrew Bradley from 35 metres out, former Glenelg Premiership captain, has sprayed it, and gee, hasn't the final series dialogue been so much about you must take your early chances? Port Power, Melbourne. If we're looking at the AFL, in the sample we've seen it, and certainly here as well. Missed chances can be costly early, Phil Herden.
They can indeed. So Tea Tree Gully actually going to get their first touch of the ball here. And I think that's actually Luke Brown, who's got kicking in duties amongst his other list today. Out to the half-back flank. Decent pickup by the Gullies. Will move it towards their forward 50 arc. Won't quite get there. Personos is brought down. Almost a horse collar there by Tommy Sumner. It's going to end up being
free kick.
Prince Alfred free.
He's dangerous in that situation, Personos, isn't he? He's so fast. That was a great bit of play.
And it's aesthetically, boys, just already when they kick the ball into space, doesn't it look so open here compared to Glenunga? Maybe it's our vantage point as well.
I think being about 20 metres higher and 30 metres back than we were last week.
And the oval being 30 metres wider and 20 metres longer also contributes. Chainer handles PAC. They look a bit sharper early today. Quick, clever little kick finds. They shake and bake. They go. Swinging on the left. It's a wide ball, but again, PAC leading to in the race to a lot of contests. Good early football. Was that Jaden Davis with the shot? Yep. Yes, and there's that Davis effect. And I don't want to stick the knife in. I mentioned it on my show. I mentioned it on our show multiple times. I reckon they made an error, and he'll prove that today.
That's okay. Yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Oh, not as bad as the last night. Melbourne, Shacky is the rotation.
Yeah, they didn't use him.
Yeah, it happens. Sorry.
There's a half-time discussion.
All right, Tea Tree Gully already have got it to centre wing where they've got a couple of numbers that almost, Tyler Martin almost battle themselves along with Ryan Spittle, who's still chasing the ball. Going to be picked up by Manzini. Looking for Ollie Clark, finding Ollie Clark, Mark Payne. Clark looks to go inboard straight away. Who's there? It's Jack Trengove. Uncle Jack gets it onto Pritchard. Pritchard going to the outer side where there's an acre of space. Bet that'll be in a lot of Carlton calls for years to come. By the forward 50 line, just where Tea Tree Gully do have some numbers and eventually not needing any help was Peter Personos. But when he looked up, he saw a bit more maroon than he did black. He's kicked it out. Last disposal going to be Prince's ball.
Yeah, and they'll link up here. And I know it's very, very early, 3 minutes in, but just already...
It's a different-looking game, isn't it,
It is just it is like a different sport almost to last week. It's chip-up connection. Chris Curran has the ball now. He'll go long. Will he find a target? Again, and umpire gets involved early, finds a free kick for holding. It's going to go, looks like razzle-dazzle to me. And you talked about this before the game. This is one of his strengths, that one-on-one combative nature that he has. Not the biggest guy, but very good one-on-one.
Just protected the drop zone. The defender panics a little bit. Didn't look like a lot in it, but not a lot of remonstration from Tea Tree Gully there either. He's a And he's a dead-eyed dick, Tommy. He won't miss this. No commentator's curse today.
Not sure we need to be calling him that, but he is 20 metres out, and it'll be very interesting to see the reaction if he does pop it through. How energised, how connected are PAC? This will tell a tale. From 20, straight in front. Umpire does a bit of work, and that is a bad miss. And you can only have so many bad misses before they come back and they haunt you. Two very, very gettable ones. And even Davis, I would have backed him to kick that as well. So, they leave Tea Tree Gully in the contest when they could have snuffed out some early resistance.
There's a little hole on the fence there as Luke Brown had to go and fetch the footy himself. No help from a few spectators behind the goal. He takes off for the outer side. And then again, Tea Tree Gully have had no problems getting it to centre wing, but getting it forward than that, well, that's been their issue. Nice pick up by Asprey.
Sorry, pardon me.
To Brody Latham. Back to Asprey. Trying to find an open player centering out of side. Bit of a bubbled reception by Heffern. Eventually got the kick away. They're on 50. This might be their first forward 50. It's right on the edge. Spittle goes in and Trengove tackles him instantly. It'll be a ball up. 51 out from the Tea Tree Gully goal. They are yet to score. Prince Alfred 3 behind.
Just look, Adam, you're the expert at reading some of these strategies and structures, but PAC set up very well behind the ball if they get a quick forward.
They're not getting sucked up too high. 3v1 Personos. Yeah, 3 opponents on that last.
2 loose players in defence, I think.
Yeah, it'll happen again, but they are going to try and go corridor, but that's the danger. Someone like Bradley can read it and chop it off, and they should be out on the open or near side to us. Fairly well covered. Give it to Curran. Curran will give it to, probably that might be Pritchard. Pritchard on the left. All Tea Tree Gully back there, though. They should have time to clear. And again, you just don't see this kind of time on Webb Oval. Mazzini works his way to the front. But again, it's a good contest, and it's tape. Measures the kick, but it's no good. Good play there by McKay. He was out of the contest, but he got himself back in. Pritchard again on the left. Again, not the kick he would have been hoping for. Marked by Luke Brown.
Luke Brown's got a raffle. There's 2 Wolves out there on the outer side. Bit of a juke and a jive, and now a long kick. Open player, but if it's going to spill for Spittle. Oh, he fumbled at the wrong moment. And suddenly there's just this massive maroon. It ends up with Jack Trengove. He's got a runner. Back to Trengove. No, stepping inside is Wildman. Everywhere you look, an effective hand pass, looking for the finish, but Luke Brown is there, gets another touch. Unmarked so far from what I can work out. He puts it out in the space of Mitch Napper. Half-back flank, looks to bring it inboard, finds the target. Tyson Breeden. He goes with a kick towards the 50-metre arc.
Oh.
Again, Princes have numbers, but Personos might get first to the ball. Neil lays a bit of a bump, but Personos can get the kick away. Jake Robinson, if he can pick it up, he's half a charge. He did pick it up, and then Andrew Bradley descended.
Oh, he's played a high tackle. Little sneaky arm over the shoulder.
Yeah, they play them. Robinson's not the quickest. I thought it was a clever kick by Peterson, but you can only go what you got. And Robertson got to the ball first, made the play, and this is where it's going to hurt. If he kicks this goal from it's tougher than any of the 3 shots. Yeah. He's going to kick from 32 metres out. I assume that's a 25 arc that they've got half. So he's going to kick from 32, maybe 33 on a. It's a gettable kick. Breeze going that way, and this could change the whole dynamic of a game that looked all PAC early.
8 goals for the season, but this to get Tea Tree Gully on the board. And maybe in front, if they can convert their first opportunity.
He does.
He does. Prince Alfred had 3 shots, but not major. Tea Tree Gully do it with the first kick. They're 1 straight 6. Prince Alfred 3 behinds. We're on the scoreboard.
So it's all about the ball on the ground. So what's happening is Luke Brown is as an on-baller going behind the ball, creating a 7th defender. Now the Prince Alfred defenders are holding their ground. So both teams have spares at the moment, and we're going to see a lot of ringer rosy between the arcs, which is what we've seen. But that time, a scungy kick went in from Breeden to half forward, and the ball hit the ground, and Peter Personos was able to get on it. So if I'm Tea Tree Gully, they need the ball on the ground. They're going to be dangerous. Prince Alfred are going to be looked to intercept. And again, Luke Brown has been on his own a lot. I'd be putting a body close to him. He's already set up a lot of play, Tommy.
So I called for it in the show last week. Get Jolly back in the middle. They've done that. He holds his ground. Blake Penny up and down is near with no impact. Leading the race is Mazzini. Will he break for it? It's a good tackle. He's thrown that away. Umpire says nothing doing. Bobbles round. And it ends up in the hands of Tea Tree Gully. Quick chain of handball. Is that Zach McKay? Alex McKay. It is. Will come across to Zach McKay. McKay to McKay. We've seen it before. There's a bit of space there. There's a bit of space. He'll just make it someone else's problem. Is that Luke Brown?
Yep.
From 50, Luke Brown! Put someone next to the man or he'll cut you to ribbons. Luke Brown, the man about town, with his first. Give him uncontested ball between 60 and 50 metres out. A Tea Gully are going to a grand final.
He wasn't, when in his AFL days, Tommy, he wasn't known for that long penetrating kick, but he can kick a goal from outside 50. He's shown that in the final series thus far. He cleared the line easily on that occasion.
Yep.
I know we keep harping on it,
Slight
Tommy.
breeze going that way.
They are letting him free, but he's smart. He's getting into right positions. And Tea Gully, they didn't blaze to the spare Prince Alfred players. That they went sideways, found their class player. Great start for Tea Gully, who were really under the pump in that first 3 or 4 minutes.
Really quickly, the matchups are Penny, Showmaker, Spittle and Brown versus Pitt, Trengrove, Bradley, Jolly and Neal are our midfield matchups. That's going to be crucial today. Who can get the clearances? Jolly, big tackle. Oh, he's wrapped him up. Cometh the man, Jolly, just lifting the intensity there, going, right, we've got to get this back here. So I asked for Jolly to be put back in the middle. They've got 5 men floating through there at the moment.
Umpire down.
Umpire down and Batlin. He's all right. Again, Gully's come out with it. They weathered that early storm, and Tea Gully, well, PAC didn't do the damage. And now what can Tea Gully do with their forward forays? They are going with the breeze. They've got open players out. Breeden in a bit of space. Does well. Looks for Personos. The quick little pumping legs. Tony Neal calls them fast twitch muscle fibres. I don't know what that means, but I don't care what it means, because he is a goal sneak. He's a star. And one of you says his name wrong, and Mrs. Blake Penny's mum's coming up here if you don't get it right.
Clear strategy. They know that Prince Alfred have a spare back there, and they've gone sideways and around him every time, and it's worked thus far. Great strategy and coaching by Justin Machado so far.
Personos will take his absolute best kick from 50, right on the paint. Gives it a ride near side. Coming back, and yeah, it was a tough kick from there. And it was well worked by PAC, having 3 men on the line, something that maybe the Melbourne Demons could have tried last night. Can you tell that I lost $90 on the D's last night?
I had a multi.
Gamble responsibly.
Well.
Yeah, I should have buddy bet. Bet with mate.
Speaking of buddy bet, it's 150 total game score.
Points.
Well, 149 and a half. At the moment, what are we? 16.
Trengrove, no impact there yet, although he has a tackle there. And it'll be led to, there's my man, Lucas Schultz, and they just get it forward now. Just try and make it someone else's problem. Again, there's that Luke Brown. You don't want it in his hands. He'll come across this way to Riley Verrill. Verrill, they've got runners. They're working hard. Will they have the legs to do this for 4 quarters? Who knows? But either way, it's in the hands of Josh Flynn, the youngster. He goes along. It's all PAC. They make a meal of it, though. Strong tackle applied. But is that a slingy McSling?
Yes.
Umpire says yes, it is.
Good
That'll be a free
umpiring.
kick, Matty Mazzini.
Good umpiring, and let's get on with it. That's well done.
Yes.
So this will be Heffernan. So, Mazzini, my apologies, on the wrong team. Tries to break it across the far side where it's off hands and out of bounds. There's your interchange benches. Aiden Friday waiting to get on. As is Luke McCauley and Patrick Singleton as we've hit 12 minutes of the first quarter. On a warm day, those interchange bench will be going pretty solid the whole day, I reckon.
I felt like Tea Gully's only chance was a fast start, and they didn't have it, but they didn't get hurt, and now they are in this game up to their eyeballs, boys.
Well, Friday's, that was Jack Ashby with the tackle. Not ruled prior opportunity.
Craig Pitt gets up, gives the ball back. Jordan Neal will do the ruck work. Interesting to see the second ruck battle as well, because it is hot out there. It's 24 degrees. It's stinky. I'm sweating. I nearly didn't get up those stairs. Personos, quick hands, fast twitch muscle fibres. Just spat on you saying that, Adam. I want to apologise for that. But Mazzini takes the mark. Phil Herden.
Mazzini's kick intercepted. Peter Personos. And this is his last one was just out of range. This one very much in range.
This is what he does, though, boys. This is what he does for a living. So
This is a huge kick, Tommy.
huge.
Prelims are won by little moments like that. An intercept. They don't want Mazzini taking those kicks up the guts, though, do they? That strategy's fallen down there. Huge kick here for Personos.
Yeah, that's Chris Curran's kick. That's Hayden Jolly's kick. That's you got to know your role.
40 goals this season to lead all comers from Pertaringa Oval for one of his biggest of the season, and he's missed to the near side. Third behind for Tea Gully. They go to 2-3-15. The margin is 2 straight goals. Prince Alfred yet to kick a major, Haven't been inside 50 for about the last 5-6 minutes.
Is it 2-3 or 2-2? Scoreboards different?
Scoreboard is very quick. It's 2-2-14 to 3 behinds. My bad.
Teacher Gully have had the last 6 forward 50 entries, guys, after Prince Alfred got the first 4.
Yeah, Personos with the 2 behind. So it's interesting now. They'll just try to take a bit of a modicum of control here again. Cuz can take this kick, and he will. To is that Wildman? It is Cam Wildman. They want to get him on the run. Again, just opens up for Sumner, and that's the kick they want. Oh, he's give him one too. Sumner. Oh, dangerous kick. McKay just found a way to just a bit of Spring Hill Jack about that.
Oh, Personos battling with Oscar Clark. They both go to ground. They almost want to wrestle each other. The football's just gone off in a different direction.
Yeah. Apologies, boys. I've got McKay and Latham confused a couple of times there. They're wearing the same boots. There was actually Brodie Latham with the intercept. So apologies for the first 14 minutes. I probably got that wrong. But we all make mistakes. Here's Latham. Or McKay. It's the orange boots. They'll get you. Turning this way, that way. Clever play to a stationary player, though. Showermakers loves his left foot. It's a quick, awkward-looking kick, though.
Did have a loose runner. That didn't honour.
And this is showing exactly what we're talking about pre-match, that Prince Alfred just do not have a bailout kick when they're under pressure, so they're continuing to take risky kicks. It's not working thus far, but it can break open. That's going to be the game today. Teacher Gully making them pay.
It's gone a long way.
Umpire Phil Hurd, not happy with the amount of...
I'm still getting used to the fact that the player's running out of the goal square. But he ran from the goal square to the 25-metre arc, which is probably about exactly how far you can run.
Good mark. That's Alex McKay. All right, sure. I've got it sorted now. Should recognise he's been on a lot of TV.
And again, boys, if you're Prince Alfred, you let Alex McKay take a mark under a high ball.
Long black hair, black boots.
It speaks to your point violently. McKay can't be taking down the line bailout kick marks. And here's Luke Brown. He's probably on possession number 6 already.
At least.
Yeah, at least with a goal. And maybe he's got a body odour problem. I don't know, but someone needs to stand near him.
You think after a couple of standout finals, someone might have noticed.
Packville's ground level. Oh, he's smothered off Bazzini's head. Jolly takes the ball, but tackled quickly. Again, bit of pressure around the ball. Now it'll open up. Here's McNamara, the captain. He's all class. Juice Davis gets a bit of time and space. Works it well, recovers well, quick hands. Again, showing his value early. Being able to work up the ground, create space. They're out now. They just got to find that one connection piece. They can't quite get there. And McHale will lend support, and eventually numbers win out for Hurden.
Yep, just got the hand pass out in the nick of time. Pitt there running interference, picks it up. Gets it out into space, but he's basically picked out two true guys. Are they having an issue with the jumpers?
It's Luke Brown. We've got an issue. Got a Luke Brown issue at the moment.
We are. Well, that's true. But just, I mean, it's not a clash. Maroon and Black is not a clash.
I'd suggest if it's a serious question, it's finals pressure, I think, boys.
Yeah. There have been a lot of uncontested turnovers. There's another one to add to your book. Chris Curran will send it inboard.
This has been frenetic as well, boys, and it's so warm out there.
Oh, and these two don't rotate their midfields as much as other teams.
We haven't seen the interchange benches used a hell of a lot so far, have we?
Just once that we've seen.
Get the percolator out there. Great interview on Between the Posts.
Well, there's no rotation cap, is there? So nothing stops you using it a little bit more.
They used it a lot at Glenunga last week. It was obviously right in front of us.
Blake Penny.
Again, Prince Alfred, no contest up the line. It's their one Achilles heel, but it's a real game changer.
Luke Brown, another possession to his totals. He's straddled that boundary line nicely.
Well, I make that 8.
Yeah.
So they haven't listened to me. They haven't taken my advice on board. Well, I bloody did one expert. Wait till next week's show, Phil. I've cut up the audio from last year's show where I predict correctly the Div 2 winner, Div 1 grand finalists. Maybe.
Well, you haven't got it right yet.
And who's getting relegated. Got them all. 5 from 5.
5 from 5?
Oh, no. Sorry, Spock didn't get relegated in the end. Because your old mob somehow poo-pooed the bed.
Frozen.
Then they found a way.
Frozen the final
getting over
fortnight.
that, Tommy. They're still getting
Sorry,
over it.
sorry, Goodwood. They might want to...
Yeah, I would have loved to have been at Goodwood Oval that night because the Div 2 women won the premiership. Would have come back absolutely jubilant at the same time as the men's got relegated. How does that?
They might have
How
taken
does that
party
work
to
as
the
a
highway.
night?
You take that party to the highway, I reckon.
Yeah.
Some good nights at the highway, Tommy, when I was coaching Goodwood.
I bet. Anyway, it's Teacher Gully here. They'll bring the ball in down the wing. Ugly looking kick. Horrible little flat mongrel punt. And PAC should be able to repel, turn this into attack. Jordan Neal goes round one, just sends it down the line. Big mark. There's Brazel, not paid and well chopped off there. Might be Flynn, is it? Whoever it is, the young fella has read it beautifully and he's laced out up the middle, which opens up everything and gets it down towards Personal's territory. He's dangerous, so it's Latham. I will get his name right at some point today, Teacher Gully supporters. I apologise. And they just work it in. Umpire will come in. He's swarming.
He's crouching.
No, crouching umpire. So, yeah. Your thoughts on the game early, Phil Hurden? It's
It seems that Teacher Gully have got... Oh, it's an interesting stoppage situation. Certainly Teacher Gully 1-for-1 battles are sneaking up on PAC. Lots of intercepts.
Davis. That's what he can do. He doesn't just kick goals. He's pushing up to the wings. His fourth touch already. Oh, a bit of a push out there. And the laws of physics suggest that he went further than what the push would have made him go, but sometimes they make sure the umpire sees it.
This will be their first entry to him since very early in the quarter, boys.
Well, if you remember, Andrew Bradley marked at the 22nd mark and missed, and Jaden Davis missed, and Tyson Brazel missed.
It's the Brazel one that
Over
I reckon
100
the one that's done the
goals.
damage. That's the one that might have deflated them. Okay, you can get a Bradley miss 20 seconds in. Davis ended up actually landing it on someone's chest who dropped the mark. So it's the Brazel miss which has turned this game a little bit. So, but anyway, it's not out of it.
I still feel like Teacher Gully need to get one more goal here just to really
yeah.
put some pressure on.
I also feel like PAC might have more legs in the fourth. Just a hunch.
Yep. What it means is we've got ourselves a very interesting afternoon ahead.
Yeah, but
Either the upset's on or Prince Alfred are going to have to launch a pretty good comeback, albeit very early days, and just a 12-point margin, but they're away. It's Brown. He's off. He's taken a bounce, kicks to the old scoreboard pocket, finds a target. Too far out the score, you would think.
possession number 9 for Brown. And the other one that's been all right, I haven't called his name, but just watching his leg speed and his work rate is Dylan Wilson. A couple of touches, but he's getting in, he's shepherding, he's running, and he's actually creating an option. They don't always use him, but it's opening up other players. And now again, he's just opened up and he's going to get it. Oh, that's good commentary.
Zach
Good play and good commentary.
Jack Hazelhurst has it.
And McKay, now he's got one as well. He's too far out by his, take his absolute best. And this will be bad commentary when he pops it through, but yep. And again,
Josh Spence. Long kick, thump through. 4-1 score, takes a 12-point margin, makes it 13. 21 and a half minutes gone of the first quarter on a glorious postcard. Picture perfect.
That was a big entry there, boys. Teacher Gully needs to get the next goal to put serious pressure on Prince Alfred, who've only had one inside 50 in about 20 minutes, but they're only the 2 kicks ahead.
Your buddy bet's no chance, buddy. Sorry, mate.
Long way to go, Tommy.
Yeah, there is.
The pressure will drop off in the second half of this match with the heat.
I'll just call one more play, boys, as it goes down towards half forward for PAC. They really do need just a quality forward foray, but I reckon that'll do it. I don't think this one's going to go much more than 24. I'm going to head down with my mate Jim. We're going to have a listen to what the coaches have got to say. I'll take my notes with me. Looking forward to crossing to you, boys.
Okay, thanks for that, TJ. 22 and a half minutes gone, first quarter. Prince Alfred dominated the opening 5 minutes, kicked 3 behind. Some very gettable set shots missed. And then pretty much it's been Teacher Gully's quarter. As Neil gets the tap around Friday. Jolly a kick in board. Finds Trangrove attacking edge centre square.
That was no accident from Jolly. That was great vision.
That was a fully intended pass under immense pressure. Towards the hot spot, 30 metres out. Who can keep their feet? Thought for a sec the ball was going to bobble out into Davis's path. It didn't. It'll be a stoppage.
Yeah, big couple of minutes here. Teacher Gully don't want to concede here. Stay goal side. They've got the wicket keeper on the goal line.
Yeah, those goals in red time in close games mean so much. The momentum you can take into a break. It's Jolly around the body. Another sensational pass to Brazel. He missed the last one, but he's closer this time.
It was just the spot that Jolly kicked it to. It didn't go close to the goal line. It went to the top of the square, and that was so critical. If it went to the goal line, it would have been intercepted by the Teacher Gully
knocked
wicket-keeper.
through. Instead, Brazel's got it. And he has missed. He's 0 for 2. Oh my goodness. Hit the post on this occasion. It's still shaking.
What Tyson Brazel needs to do, though, Phil, is put it behind him. He's a key player for Prince Alfred, and he can't let a couple of misses dictate his day. He can still have a big day and a big influence on this game, even with a couple of early misses. So he's got to be mentally strong for the rest of this game. The coach will have to get around him at the break.
Brown brings it down the grandstand side. Manzini made good position. He's flunked the mark. Short pass inbound. Finds Lockie McNamara. Too far out to score. Another one to the top of the square. They come from all directions. And Brazel's taking it again. And I don't know whether you, unless you're a Tea Tree Gully fan, you're sort of hoping that this time surely he dobs it.
Yeah, but tremendous attack on the football. That was a fantastic mark in a pack. He'll be feeling the pressure here, but he's a really good set shot. Just really work on your ball drop, head down, kick through the football. He'll be fine, but that was a fantastic mark, and it actually deserves a goal, Phil.
The margin is 11. Siren has gone. We won't take our break just yet. As it comes in deliberately. This time, it is right over the goal umpire's hat. Prince has come from everywhere to say, well done, lad. Great redemption and a critical goal after the quarter-time siren goes. First break here at Hisense Stadium, Richmond, the Division 1 prelim final. Tea Tree Gully 2-3-15, trying to cause the upset. Prince Alfred Old Collegians 1-4-10. Thanks to Filming Footy, you're watching the Adelaide Footy League.
Folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Welcome back. That is the scene. Richmond Oval from up high. Tea Tree Gully have split into their respective groups. Tommy Javor is down there. We'll get a report from him very shortly. But it took until after the first quarter siren for Prince Alfred Old Collegians to kick their first goal. They're 1-4-10. That was courtesy of Brazel. His third set shot on goal, getting the major. Tea Tree Gully 2-4-16. Their goal scorers are Luke Brown and Jake Robinson. Phil Hurd and Tommy Javor. Adam Jeffries. Adam, what did you make of that first quarter? Any key stats you picked up?
First of all, I think Prince Alfred really dodged a bullet in that quarter after their fast start. Tea Tree Gully owned about 18, 19 minutes of that quarter, but only scored the 2 goals. I feel like they needed to get a third or a fourth to really put some pressure on Prince Alfred, force him to take some even more riskier kicks. But she's game on. Just kudos to Tyson Brazel as well, Phil. We called, he was devastated after the set shot miss from the goal square, but only a matter of the next play in, he hit the ball harder than you've ever seen a bloke hit the ball and had the nerves to kick the goal. So well done to Brazel. He, despite the misses, he's looking dangerous and looking into a 4-5 goal game today. But she's game on. Teacher Gully need to make the most of it and put some scoreboard pressure on Prince Alfred. Both teams looking to kick the ball short and sideways. Each team has a spare defender behind the ball. Both teams well drilled in how they want to play.
All right, just trying to see if I can get you a score from the Division 7 Grand Final. The only two premierships up for grabs today are in the CMAX Clinical Research Division 7. Of course, the way it usually works for the men's comp is that the Grand Finals are spread over 3 weeks, Div 7, then Divs 2 to 6, and then Div 1. We'll get a score for you shortly, but first let's go to Tommy Javor.
And thanks, boys. PAC, nothing changes with PAC. It's prelim final. It's still calm. Pity having one-on-one conversations. Let's hit the 15-metre kicks. Forwards, you must tick lead, all right? Just got to get that tick lead right. Watch Penny's big punch. What Teacher Gully? 30 minutes down, quarter by quarter. That was Pete Personos. Had plenty to say. Machota, composure. Don't let them outnumber them at the contest. Let's close the space and own the threat within the game. Let's make them kick to the post, exactly like Adam Jeffries did say. Make them kick that long one down the line. We've got their measure when they do that. Let's work hard. Let's be a threat. Teacher Gully, very up and about, very excited. Back to you, boys, in the central missionary commentary position.
Thanks for that, TJ. I was wondering where you were going with that. Let's go very quickly to Price Memorial Oval at Mitcham. CMAS Clinical Research Division 7 Grand Final. 23 minutes into the first quarter. Ingle Farm, 4-4-28. Houghton Districts, the Raiders, 3 behinds. So Ingle Farm, the minor premiers. An early breakaway there by 25 points. Second quarter about to get underway here. Teacher Gully in the black with the red sash heading to the left of your screen. Prince Alfred, Hayden Jolly there, kicking to your right. His kick inside 50, met by Josh Spence into some space. Zach McKay will reel it around, looking for Alex. He's got it. Chris Curran's got him. He was taking off and surprised if that wasn't holding the ball. It is holding the ball and will be Prince Alfred to go forward once again. So a game that has ebbed and flowed. Prince Alfred, the strong start. Teacher Gully, pretty good. After that, Prince Alfred, though, a late goal. And the early attacking so far, and they'll get one here. Looks to be Pitt, I think.
Yes, that's correct.
Who's got it?
Forward at the moment.
Too far out to score. That is a high kick. Chance for Brazel to really attack it again. At the 25-metre semi-ashed arc. And nothing that tape can do to get out of that situation will be another ball up.
Well, boys, the steps aren't getting shorter on a 25-degree day, but I'm not sure how much come. We'll just wait for this play and I'll come back. Question for you, Adam. As we get a stoppage, spillage. Teacher Gully, quick kick out, and they will clear it. Was tape there, I think, but they've coughed it up. PAC, can they get out to Trengove? Plays for the free, spins around. They've got numbers here. Feeds it back to Bradley on the left foot, right foot. Doesn't really matter with him, but it's a 2-on-1. It's all Teacher Gully. Ball bobbles. Again, a lot of pressure out there, but they'll clear now through McKay.
They just had the numbers. Browns kick into some space on the outer side. Picked up Lockie Charlton. They've set the wall up. They'll bring it back inside. And setting it up for Zach McKay. Couldn't quite take it off. Hands out of bounds. Throw in. Yep. I think the mini league sheds was where that used to be just there. Now it's a nice little... They're still there behind.
But how about that, Mark? I was down on the boundary. Brazel with, 15, 20 seconds to go. Just a big finals moment. He needed that. His team needed that. And brought it back, whilst it's still a goal of the difference, brought it back to an even game for me with Teacher Gully. Instead of heading in with all the momentum, changed the game. But I'm taken back. It doesn't matter. There's a real sameness about PAC. They are calm at the breaks. They don't rant and rave. They don't shout. They're very instructional. Probably why
this is a degree of self-belief that we're in range and then eventually things will kick in. And this this little pesky group from Petteringa will eventually fall over. But no sign of that just yet.
And I reckon that's 25, is it? All right. Great mark behind the ball there in the last. Is that Mazzini again? We'll know when he kicks, that's for sure. It might be Sumner, actually. It is Sumner. So
yeah, it's got a 2 on it, that's for sure.
More better kicking action. You give him a wrap and he kicks it straight to Brodie Latham.
So
We're going
Latham
to get a
has
lot of this through the first half, guys. There's a spare at each end. That's a risky ball into the corridor.
But Schoenmakers was up for it initially. Now he's got to go in and play a bit of defence. Some good works through hands back to McNamara. He burns his opponent off. Goes towards Brazel. One-on-one contest. Brazel's got it back. He's run straight. He's bounced into, bounced out of, bounced around, kicked around the body. Don't tell me.
I won't tell you.
Special goal.
We don't have a player of the day where you kick that. That would have been
I would have
special.
given him something.
He's
Yeah,
almost
kick
got an attitude of no one is stopping me.
You say we don't have a player of the day?
We have the MVP. Oh, we do. Sorry,
Yeah,
we do.
yeah,
We
that
do.
could have been player
Okay.
of the day.
Well, Brazel's mark.
Was at the
player of
moment,
the day
but you've got to be on the
so
winning
far.
team to win the awards. Otherwise, I'll put them straight in my car and head to the Moseley myself.
Yeah.
But Brazel is looking dangerous, though, isn't he, boys? He looks like he's got a 5 or 6 goal game in him today. If he keeps getting one-on-ones inside 50,
You could have that already, mate. So, but yes, facetiously, yes.
5-point margin.
there's a blood
6
rule here
scoring
as well.
shots each.
Luke Brown will take the kick out, and again, they do seem to want to put it in his hands,
I don't think it's Brown this time.
isn't it?
Unless he's changed his boots.
So he's got the blue boots, doesn't he?
Yep, he's right there, standing, waiting for the pass.
Sorry, my apologies. Not sure who that is then.
Kick out up the middle. Interesting tactic.
Well, I guess Brown can't kick it to himself, so it's where's the value going to be?
That was Josh Spence kicking out.
Yeah, he's
Apologies.
playing one of the loose defenders at the moment for Tea Gully. Going right to him right now.
Strong tackle, spun around, ball spins out. McNamara's been good in this quarter. Again, just needs to find that last connection piece. Brazel! Just put it to the outside of him, and he was too good for his opponent there in Riley Verrill, I think it might have been. It's actually Jaden Davis.
Yeah.
And as a left footer, he loves to protect that left side of the ground. So if he doesn't get it, he can swing back around. And again, I don't want to put the commentator's curse on him. Kicking from inside 30, one of the best set shots in Division 1, as Todd Marshall was for Port. So anything can happen in the final.
As Tyson Brazel was before the match.
But I think-
He'll slot this, Davis. That was a fantastic mark. He's normally really good on the lead, but great one-on-one mark from him there.
I'll take the lead for the first time since Teacher Gully's first goal, and I think the boys will get right around him because he's doing his job early, Davis. And he has snuck it in for his first and their third. And again, he's had 7 touches already, taken a couple of marks and been in a lot of play. It just looks dangerous. But for me, Adam, it's just a different, I talked about it already, a very different game today. No one's pairing off like tightly like you have to at Glenunga. Everyone's affording each other a bit of space. They're just going head to head.
Yeah, it's the game plans of both teams and the oval size are playing a big part today. So I said, with both teams employing a spare behind the football, both teams are aware of that and are trying to use the sideways switch kick options. And the beautiful sunny day, big oval, you're going to see a different game than what you saw at Glenunga last week. But great start for Davis. He's looked dangerous.
The
4
bounce
inside
bar
50s, none for Teacher Gully
at
so
Richmond.
far.
One of the better places. Jolly, back-to-back centre clearances. Working in there well was Lucas Schultz. He's got the hand pass back. He'll get the inside 50 kick.
Good
And coming
mark.
from the back.
Oh, no.
Kevin
Running.
McCauley's mark's not going to be
It's a
paid.
great mark running with the flight where Angel's fair to tread, isn't it? It's a fantastic mark. But free kick to Riley Verrill.
As they work it around, gave a score update earlier, TJ. It's still late stages of the first quarter in the Div 7 grand final. Houghton have scored a goal. That's the good news. The
Houghton.
bad news is Ingle Farm have kicked another.
Come on, you
it's,
Farmers.
it's 6-4-40 to 1-4-10 in favour of the green and white
Yes.
of Ingle Farm.
Who dogs, as we've got a play here, just nicely measured there to Jordan Personos. Now, this is where he needs to be clever, and he gives it off. And they come right out to the wing now. Robinson in good position, just pushes his opponent out of the way, but doesn't quite make hay when the sun shines. Leading into it is Asprey, but he's beaten for the ball. There's more reds there, and unfortunately they're wearing maroon, which makes it also confusing. McCauley, he's shown good zip this quarter. Puts it out in front of the percolator, and he takes a good mark. I like this boy. He's a good footballer, Josh Perks. He got rid of his perm. We had to go from permulator to percolator, but it's stuck at PAC. I love it when a good name sticks. More importantly, mate, he's going to line up 40 metres out in a slight angle.
More importantly, that's 6 inside 50s to 0 so far this quarter. Teacher Gully have not gone past halfway.
And they
Similar
had the
trend.
last couple in the first quarter, so
But it was all PAC early, and then Teacher Gully came in the first. So maybe this will consider be a similar trend. But right now it's Perks from just outside 40, just pulls it near side. Minor score, and again, that's 2-7, is it? 2-6? But it's Charlie Kiddo on the scoreboard. He's like grease lightning.
Yep.
And again, they're kicking points, leaving Teacher Gully right in it. Teacher Gully kick one, and all of a sudden, they'll ignite.
14 scoring shots in totality, just 34 points on the board at the moment. That's a long-range kick-in. Penny is there. Bit of an area with the kick. Goes back and gets it as a secondary in 20 seconds. I think he got back a third effort there. Still in the middle. Schoenmakers looking for someone to pass it out the back to. In the end, it's Oscar Clark. His kick inside 50 has found the target.
No, it's a free kick for shepherding.
Okay, we'll go the way of Luke Macaulay. Macaulay, 5 goals from his 20 games, one of 4 red men to play every game, along with Oscar Clark, Lockie McNamara and Andrew Bradley have played all 20.
Huge kick here from 45. Again, on a beautiful day like today, probably should kick it. If anything, the breeze is probably swung around, believe it or not, boys. I should have mentioned that's a nice-looking kick. Goal umpire says it's a beautiful kick. It's his first and their third. And they just get a bit of breathing space and a bit of value for effort there. An 8-point lead now. It's been all PAC this term, Adam Jeffries.
Yeah, they're just owning the territory. Like I said, Teacher Gully have not really been past halfway. They've lost both centre bounces to Hayden Jolly. And that's 7 inside 50s to 0. And this is Teacher Gully have the same problem as Prince Alfred. They don't have a bailout tall forward that they can go to, get a crumb, get a contest, get a stoppage, give their defenders a breather. And that's really why you do that. So, yeah, they need to win a centre bounce, Teacher Gully, and get the ball back in their half of the ground and lock it in.
Who's going to do it? In the middle, we've got Penny, McKay, Brown, and I think it's Spittle for Teacher Gully. They're the 4 that need to grab it by the throat right now. Big man fly. Neil gets up over Penny. Quick hands by Jolly. McNamara, Bradley. They're on top at the moment. Swings wide. They'll go long down the forward line. Good kick. Right in. Takes it with his hands out in front. How important is that? That's just good football. Is that Macaulay again?
I reckon so.
Yep. And Macaulay to Bradley. And I'll tell you what, Macaulay Culkin might have been left alone at home, but they won't leave Macaulay at home because he's actually having a bit of a purple patch. And Braddles probably owes him one from the start of the game.
This is for 4 straight goals.
This is alarm bells for Teacher Gully if he kicks this. And the ease of the centre bounce takeaway. It's Hayden Jolly's strength. Again, he didn't get the kick. He was strong enough to get his hands out on that occasion. Another easy centre clearance. Jordan Neal doing very well against Penny as well.
He's been excellent, Neil. Bradley from 40. Just pulls it. And minor score. Teacher Gully breathe a huge sigh of relief like this. Phew. Because that one would have been danger signs indeed, as you said, Adam.
Brown is back as the designated kicker.
And what do you know? Target right up the guts, Bill.
Tyler Martin.
Yeah, haven't seen
Usually
much of him.
A high-risk play, but
very good hands.
He's got the job on Jolly. Good luck to him. Now they've scooted out to the outer side.
Young Dylan Wilson.
Yeah, just trying to keep it out of Prince Alfred hands at the moment might be a good idea. There's Brown, who's worked himself to 70 metres out from the goal.
Possession number 12. Dylan Wilson, when you have a look at him next time, he's got a lot of Jackson, not Jackson Bird. Who's the guy with the long neck that plays Big Bash?
Oh,
It's a bit like him. Got his name now, pardon.
Well, not Gladstone Small, I know that.
No, he had no neck.
so even that play there, they took their time. That gave Blake Penny the chance to get forward of the ball. He's their only player that can give them that contest. Teacher Gully, this is where the defenders can have a couple of seconds off, reload, get on the back shoulder. Super important contest there by Blake Penny.
Yeah.
He doesn't jump a lot, Blake Penny, but his craft, he certainly does it well. His umpire finds a free. They're close to the line, but it's going to go to Hayden Jolly.
He's been huge in this second quarter, Hayden Jolly.
First quarter was pretty quiet, I thought, but second quarter now, it's probably 5 or 6 touches and clearances. And that's where they got smashed last week by Glenunga in the clearances. Of course, you can get all that information, all the statistical data on Between the Posts and the Div 1 Weekly Wrap, and they'll come this way. Through Curran. Curran is actually starting to open up. He's got a nice one up the middle. And again, Adam Machado was clear. Close that space, own the threat. But A2, good follow-up there. Play by McKay, but enough time and space. Perks, he's starting to present. And again, this is what Petty wanted, just hit up. We don't need to bomb it long. And they steal it out the wide. Wildman, he's run all the way down. He slams it through. That's a great team goal. That's his first and their fourth. And they have kicked 4 in a row. And danger signs, real danger signs. Teacher Gully must get this next goal or the game will come away from them very quickly.
Real danger signs now, not because of the front half game, but Prince Alfred were able to get the ball from their D50 without Teacher Gully looking to trouble them at all. Switch the play up the corridor, using their foot skills, finding time and space. And we thought this might happen in the second half where the heat of the day, when you're tired, the hardest thing to do is to chase and pressure and dive across boots. You still run to receive the ball. You can see the pressure just dropping off slightly, and Prince Alfred right on top, 3 centre bounces to 0, 9 inside 50s to 0. Alarm bells, must get a centre clearance here.
Yep, absolutely crucial. Big play. Teacher Gully, season on the line just about. Penny takes possession. He does that so well. Does the spinneroo. He gets the kick forward. They need a forward 50, but PAC onto it. He's been huge early, Curran. Cool in a crisis and just gets it back. Cuts a sleigh straight through the middle. Whoosh, 55-metre bomb. Turns defence into attack. But Teacher Gully with the numbers. Shipped his first back onto it. And unfortunately, it's just a hint of this could blow out, couldn't it? I know the game's still on the line, but Teacher Gully have had to work so hard over the last month. If the dam cracks, it could really crack open.
They just need to find a goal somehow in the next couple of minutes. So crucial.
Yep. 4-7 plays 2-4. Ground level, first to it, Teacher Gully, quick tackle, ball up, and umpire says, I'll have it. 45 metres out from PAC goal.
Prince Alfred got the second ruck in at the moment. Blake Penny's been able to grab it twice and hack kick the ball forward, see if he tries it again. Third man up.
Yeah.
Smart play by Trengove.
He's been everything. McNamara, the skipper. He's just lifted when his team's needed it. And great Mark Brazel in front. And I know Norwood Oval, and I'm not getting ahead of myself here as they just start a bit argy-bargy. How's your mum going? They're not there yet, but the
Don't
league
want to give away a 50, do you? Because
No.
Brazel's still going to be nervous on the set shot.
25 even, yeah. But yeah, make him earn it. Like make him take the harder shot. All the Glenunga boys downstairs, they were downstairs, having a look. They'll be watching on very interestingly in this one, looking at matchups. But this hot day today, on a league ground, they look like a different team, PAC.
Bit tighter at Norwood, though, isn't it? Tommy?
It is.
This is a big deck out here.
It's the
West
same thing.
Adelaide.
It's because that wall is there. It actually looks smaller than what it is. It's not. It's still a league ground. It's not tiny, but it's not huge. That's a real good, solid statement there. You'd say it's medium.
It's a medium.
Phil, sorry.
Brazel comes in and makes the umpire work for it behind. Whilst they're finding the ball, some scores around the grounds, prelim finals. All right, these are all early scores, second quarter. Payneham Norwood Union by 27 over Foss. Modbury by 10 over Unley Mercedes. CBC Old Collegians by 7 over Paraka. Kilburn by 22 over Colonel Lake Gardens. Greenacres by 24 over Salisbury. Mentioned before, close to quarter time, it was Ingle Farm by 30 over Houghton.
Yes, some great news there. Gee whiz. We'll just get back to the play. I'll comment on that in a minute. PAC, it's all PAC here. But good smother there. They needed that one there. It was good play there by, might have been Spittle. They need him to come into the play, and now here they go. They're out now. They just need to get one, but it's 3 PAC players behind the ball. If he kicks it, he's only kicking to PAC. Literally no one to kick to. You've got to get across and support him, boys. That's all he could do. The handball to Latham. Best on ground last week in the eyes of Indian Jad. He does. He works hard. He's legged, and he gets the free kick. And time now for Gullies to work down there. Still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 PAC guys back there.
First inside 50 for the quarter, boys. 17 minutes in.
As long as he doesn't kick it into the man on the mark.
This is the play they need, though, isn't it?
Prophet of
Well,
doom,
it
Phil.
happens sometimes like that.
Oh, Phil Hurden. And it's going to be all Curran, is it? At ground level, they do force a contest. Or in the back, maybe, and the umpire's all over that. And oh no, he's not all over that. He signalled it's a point, did he?
No,
it is a
Mancini free.
Free kick
Oh,
for
okay.
pushing the back.
All right, he's all over that.
Apologies, not Mancini,
Yeah.
Oscar Clark.
Yeah. Of course, son of Michael Clark. Not really, but sounded funny. All right. And they go along, and they find Macaulay. Yeah.
He's been good, Macaulay, this quarter, hasn't he?
Great quarter.
Giving him another forward option that they desperately need.
Some of these PAC players over time and space become deadly weapons, like this man, Cam Wildman. He's got the one over the top. They're out. Davis, he'll run all the way in. 30, 40, 30, takes the kick, kicks a goal. Jaden Davis, the man they call the kicks his second, PAC's fifth. And I think this game is heading in a direction that isn't going to please Teacher Gully fans.
Yeah, you hate to say it this early. It's still a low-scoring game and anything can happen, of course, but that inside 50 from Teacher Gully, they couldn't allow that to rebound and go end-to-end like that. They had to try and lock the ball in, give their defenders a breather, and put some pressure back on Prince Alfred. They'd have scored the next goal, 4-3. She's game on. We'll look back in a couple of hours' time and say maybe that was the play that broke him, but Phil, still a long way to go.
Yep, 21-point margin, 5 goals straight to Prince's.
Just quickly, Phil, do you watch Seinfeld? That's a pretty big, chunky wallet. You wouldn't want to sit on that. You get back problems, mate.
It's not a wallet.
It's a George Costanza phone wallet.
I'll explain that at half-time. Or the 5th quarter, it may be.
Yeah, okay, PAC, right. They just, every post to win. Is that Wildman again? Goes long, and they're playing in front. Might be it's Trengrove. Should recognise him. He gets the ball a bit to Brazel one-on-one. He does that so very, very well. Wrestle. I'll take the ball drop. Lands in my lap. This is the part of the game he doesn't so well, the kicking for goal.
Yeah, he'll be nervous on it, but the scoreboard's helping him now. He'll be a bit more relaxed.
Still don't understand why he's not at Prospect.
I can explain that one, right?
Okay.
In a sec. And that's a better kick, and that's a great call by you, Adam Jeffries. The pressure valve has probably been released. All of a sudden, the basic dynamics of a kick, and it's his second, the ball drop, the follow-through, it all just feels a bit more natural. You're not jerky, you're not tight, he kicks his goal. So he had a great run at North, mate. Very unlucky to miss the grand final that we lost by a point. I say we, of course, working at North.
It's his height, isn't it?
You can say we at numerous locations, can't you?
Oh, mate, someone just said to me on the way, I'm more clubs at Tiger Woods. That's a good one, mate. I haven't heard that one. And we didn't want to lose him, but the commitment of a Sanford, and you'd know this, Phil, and you'd know this too, is a 5-day-a-week job, plus your weights and your diet. He can come here, train one night a week, have a kick with his mates, and get in the gas responsibly and bet with mates.
I'm pretty sure that there's some young kids in a Bangladesh sweatshop that earn more per hour than a Sanford footballer.
Well, they don't tax reserves football anymore, but it's $100 for a game. As teacher going to go forward, this is crucial. But
so that's now designated a hobby, is it? And so they don't tax it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so they say it's...
I'll tell you what, there's a few country footballers getting around doing with hobbies.
Yeah. Well, Tea Tree Gully have a stoppage inside their forward 50. This is a rarity.
Need to get a bit of repeat entries here.
They need to get a goal or two just to stay within range, recoup at the half-time break and go again. Umpire's found a long way off, has found the free. It's going to be a Gully shot on goal.
Alex McKay?
No doubt in and under height and high tackle. Good play by McKay, exactly what his team needed. They just had to make something happen at that stoppage. They need him to kick straight. He's not a great set shot, is he, Tommy? He's got a bit of an awkward ball drop, but they need it here.
Former captain, former coach. They need him right now. They need all his leadership. Struggles with the distance nearly. You're right. He hit it with a pitching wedge when he needed really just a 7-iron. It's a minor score. And
well, since the quarter-time siren went, Prince Alfred have kicked 6 goals, 4.
5 goals, 4.
No, since the siren went, because they kicked the first after the siren.
Oh, Phil.
Okay. Since the quarter-time siren went, 6 goals, 4 to 2 behinds.
Yep.
And a run like that, in a game like that, on a day like that, it's hard to see Teacher Gully coming back from it.
You should have just turned to him and said, "Don't question me, rookie."
You're not a rookie.
I'm doing semantics.
We did a grand final a way back, mate.
Yeah, 2018. State game even years before that.
Yeah.
SA versus someone that beat us.
Yes, someone east of us.
Dan Carl kicked 6.
Something like that. Anyway, let's stick on this one as a Charlton brings it across to the grandstand side just so we can see what the footy is. A lot of players been to the outer side, I think, today.
Great chase by Latham.
Curran made a contest, got the free.
Slow him down. You're right about Wildman. He's a different player on the big decks, isn't he, Tom?
Yeah, he's a weapon.
Yep. On the small decks, he's barely sighted last week.
He's, of course, the player that had the most possessions in any one game this year with 46, so he can get off the leash. And Trengrove is another one. Well, that's a horrible kick. Kicked it straight to Teacher Gully. And Teacher Gully needs something special, but they certainly need another goal.
Sometimes,
if not 2 before half-time.
Is there a sort of a strategy that you kick it high, put it on your opponent's head for someone to come straight over the top of them?
Yeah.
Just don't kick a worm burner to your opponent.
I think Brazel's sitting a bit deeper because he likes that one-on-one body matchup on his opponent at the moment. He's not going to lead a lot.
That's where Sam Wonky's been good. I reckon he got Wonky once in the 2 times that we watched him.
Yeah. And that's why it's a different game against Glenunga, isn't it?
Yeah. Pickett, ticket, Penny in best position, but ground level Macaulay's quarter has been sublime. Long kick there. That's Humphreys, the co-captain. Is that a mark?
It's the same again. Wrestle, drop zone protection. What he does, and this is any forwards who are working on craft, and the reason Brazel wouldn't have made it as a league full forward, he's a great player, but it's his height. What he just did then, he can't do against an SANFL fullback. But at this competition, he protects the drop zone and he goes into the chest mark late. He doesn't stand under the ball at all, and it's impossible to get a spoil on. He's put on a clinic today. He's taken 3 or 4 of them already.
And as you said, with the pressure off, he's kicking for his 3rd. He has 2 already. He'll kick from 30 to 35 on a slide angle. You'd expect him to kick it, and he has pulled it near side. And there's still hope for Teacher Gully, as we can hear there.
Just need to somehow find a goal. If they get a goal on the siren, you saw what it did for Prince Alfred. The siren goals can sometimes make you feel good when you haven't played all that well.
Yep. Should be hit.
Yep. They need to take a little punt, maybe go up the guts here and see what can happen. Goes out wide.
Again, the long kick. Princes look like they've got extra numbers, and when they do, they know how to do it. Curran almost ran into a bit of trouble. Threw some hand passes to Oscar Clark. Needs it to sit, needs to get away from his opponent, which he does. In the end, Spittle couldn't keep his feet, and they're back from whence they started. This is with Lockie McNamara with the headband. Won't miss him for the rest of the afternoon. McCosker, McNamara, the headband couple. Wildman into the open pocket. Brazel almost bounced in his lap, then took a sharp left-hand turn. This is where it'll end. Umpire Cirkin says, yeah, I'll come and ball it up.
Can we just back it back about 15 seconds, chuck it in reverse, beep, beep, beep. Did you make a 1977 Rick McCosker reference?
Rick McCosker. Anytime I think of a head bandaged up, the leader all-time Rick McCosker. Everyone else
probably Selwyn's done it a few times since then, but yeah.
McCosker had a broken jaw.
Yeah. It was mummified, wasn't he?
Yeah, still went out and faced
Can you imagine going
the prime of the English attack without a helmet.
Bob Willis was nasty and quick.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Even the Queen visited that game.
Yes,
45 runs.
Ruck gets the tap. McKay at ground level should clear. Under a lot of pressure there, unable to get their handball. Just shrugging the shoulders well was Bradley. Go straight up the chimney, straight back down. Davis, super quick hands to Macaulay. He pushes it across the face. McNamara, what did I say, Macaulay?
He had the head, but he had the...
Yeah, I tried to
Obviously,
say
my McCosker thing didn't work on
I
you.
nearly called him McCosker, so... But just it's 28 points in the grand final in the first half. It doesn't feel like 28 points. It just feels like PAC from here. I mean, we can only call it. I'm paid to give my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like they've got it.
Well, you can't argue that 16 inside 50s to 2 boys this quarter. So 16 to 2 is called
16
domination.
scoring shots to 8.
Yeah.
They're running on top of the ground. And let's hope Teacher Gully can get one before half time and make a game of it.
The barrel.
Oh!
But again, it's, in theory, it's good play, but.
Well, if they'd have got over Chris Curran's head, then it would have been a race and it would have been something a bit different.
Well, if my mum was my dad, but it didn't. That was a long way off it. It's just everything
like
falling
that.
away. Yeah.
Brown's down. That's not good.
No. And going along down to Brazel, drops in his arms, swings around, he gets his. Phil, where are your fingers? You always hold them up for me. His 3rd. He has now outscored Teacher Gully. That in itself is a very bad sign. And Luke Brown looks
Still
to me
down.
like it's
The game did not need that, did it?
No.
The one thing we said Teacher Gully needed a goal. They didn't need Luke Brown to go down, and he's not happy
Of course,
about something.
he had a calf injury in round 1, and that derailed Teacher Gully pretty quickly after that.
And he knew, like when he was on the ground, he wasn't in pain. He was just disappointed. He was just like, my day's done.
Yeah, and for Teacher Gully fans, I think this is potentially the end of your season.
It's a shame because he was super in that first quarter and a
best
half.
on ground.
And in the finals. What a present. I mean, he's been great all year. I think he was
Great coup for the competition to have
16 games, 11 best players listings in that time. Not a bad season.
He's not old Luke Brown either as well. He can hang around at Teacher Gully for the next few years and help them again. I think it's great that he's in the competition. A shame for his season to finish like that. Hopefully they can get some juice happening down there, Tommy, and get him back out. Who knows?
Oh, bit of juice, eh? Speak of the devil. No, it's not. Anyway, Jolly, he's strong. He doesn't go down very often. He just uses that mass to a great effect. And there we hear the dingle of the bell, which means a siren is imminent. And here it is. It's 7:10:52, playing 2-5-17. A 35-point lead to PAC. Phil Hurd. Oh, and there's a bit of afters going on here. Tell you what, it's a bit
We'll
late
stay on. It could be the most exciting thing we see in the next hour, so we'll stick around for it. Because, of course, they do share the one tunnel here.
Yes, so it was.
Oh, the old one tunnel.
Half-time at Prince Alfred, 7:10:62.
In that quarter, Prince Alfred kicked 6 goals, 6. Teachme Gully, 1 behind. We'll come back with some goal scorers, some scores around the other big preliminary finals in the Adelaide Footy League, some stats and some analysis from both Adam and TJ. But you're watching the Adelaide Footy League thanks to Filming Footy.
Folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support. Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Nine News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Oh, done it again.
Welcome back, Richmond Oval. And teams not too far away from coming out of their change rooms. Half-time here, certainly one-way traffic in the second quarter. Prince Alfred Old Collegians a half away from their 3rd consecutive Division 1 Grand Final encounter as they lead Teacher Gully 7-10-52 to 2-5-17. A 6-point Teacher Gully quarter-time lead evaporated, and it is Prince Alfred leading by 35 points. Phil Hurden with Tommy Javor, Adam Jeffries. Gentlemen, I've got some scores from elsewhere. But firstly, Adam, your thoughts and some stats from that first half.
Yeah, it's hard to put a real positive spin on that quarter of football for Teacher Gully. They started the game so well, but unfortunately they dropped right off in that second quarter with their pressure. 18 inside 50s to 2, 6 goals, 6 to a point, and the added insult of Luke Brown going down in the last couple of minutes. So we're going to keep an eye. I just heard some whispers that his day might not be done, so let's see if he does run out and they give it one last crack. But it's just going to be a long second half for Teacher Gully.
Teacher Gully coming out now. Let's see, Luke Brown, if he'll come and have a run.
Doesn't look like he's there, boys.
Not sighted at this point.
That's not a good one.
Almost. A late appearance by Joshua Spence, and Luke Brown came straight out, straight to the dugout.
And unfortunately, boys, I don't know whether the proper to doom, but that's ball game for mine. Yeah.
Hot day. You don't want to be down at rotation. I know it's 22 and they're used to 21 normally, but warm days are not when you want to be down at rotation alone.
We're 25 degrees at the moment.
Maybe he's not done, Luke Brown.
Oh,
he's got it strapped up and
he's coming out.
Might have had some assistance pumped into it, but he's not going to be 100% either way.
He was just waiting for TJ to say that's the ball game.
It's the ball game if he doesn't
And once
play.
they told him TJ's written you off, he's out.
Oh, this PHP
There.
team won't lose from this far up.
We've got some scores around the
You know, I
ground.
love
Let's
this
work
field.
our way
Be
up.
gentle with Div 2, please.
Work our way up. Div 7 grand final,
Come on,
close
the
to
Bulldogs.
half time. Ingle Farm 9-8-62. Houghton 2-6-18.
Oh, Houghton.
That's
Mountain.
a 44-point lead to the Farmers.
I just
Close
like
to half time. Div 6 prelim, Greenacres 9-4-58. To play beating Salisbury 7-6-47, an 11-point win. Greenacres looking for a rematch with Marion. I don't know if you heard about that game last week. Went into extra time, kicks after the siren, all sorts of craziness.
Greenacres,
Marion
of course.
winning by a point to go to Div 5 already.
Greenacres were undefeated for 26 games as well at one point from last year through to this year. What a grand final that'd be for them.
But Salisbury still within range. Div 5, the winner to play Jeps Cross Kilburn 11-8-74. Colonel Light Gardens, they are 8-7-55. Division 4.
Just give me that one again. Hugo was giving me all sorts of aesthetics.
Kilburn leading by 19 points, folks, close to half time.
In their
11-8 to 8-7. Division 4, this is between Glenelg, between Karaka and CBCL Collegians. The Dolphins with a 13-point lead, 7-5-47. Karaka are the Bulls kicking themselves out of it, 4-10-34. Div 3, Modbury, only Mercedes Jets. Modbury 5-9-39, only Mercedes 4-3-27.
Go on the Jets.
Two-goal margin
Jets.
in favour of the Hawks to play Flinders
bit on
Park
that.
next week. And Div 2, this is at Woodville.
Count the points.
Payneham Norwood Union 6-4-40, leading Foss Camden 2-2-14. A 26-point half-time lead
Defensive
for
masterclass
Payneham Norwood
from
Union to
Payneham.
come back to Div 1 and face the Kookaburras of Golden Grove next week. Can tell you next week, folks, filming footy, Div 1 to Div 6. Every men's A-grade final will be streamed. And for those early birds, well, you're going to join us for a triple header of grand finals from Norwood, where I can tell you in the C1s, it's going to be Prince Alfred versus Shock, after Shock beat Goodwood Saints in the C1 prelim. And the B grade, it's going to be Goodwood Saints and Glenunga, after Glenunga beat Prince Alfred here earlier today by 43 points. The A grade, the Rams are there. Prince Alfred looked likely. Tea Tree Gully got a half to do something about it.
Yeah, it's going to be dead now. I don't have to do all 3 games next week, do I feel? How much are you paying me for that? Are we doing?
I don't pay you anyway, TJ.
I know. So we'll be calling the who's doing the B grade game? We doing
It's going to be Jed and Tony Neal doing the C's, myself and Tony and yourselves helping. We're going to have a roaming. Don't miss next week's stream, folks.
roaming
We're going to
Tommy
have
next week.
roaming TJ, unlicensed, unleashed. Help us all. And then the A grade game, Glenunga. Prince Alfred or Glenunga? Tea Tree Gully? Let's find out, because the third quarter's about to get underway. Your caller is Tommy Javor.
Brown at the centre bounce, Tommy.
Yeah. Well, they've got to roll the dice. It's Neil, Bradley, Gawley, and Jolly, McNamara and Jolly, trying to shut this game out now. They just need the first one, PAC, and gee whiz, it'll be a long way back from there. But Tea Tree Gully will fire a shot in this first 5 minutes. There's no doubt about that. The wad is full, and they are ready to unleash. So can Brown get a gallop up? Can McKay break it open? Can Tickets Penny control the ruck? And he's been pinged, and that's not the start they wanted. Jordan Neal's been good today. He's neutralised Penny for the first time in a while, in my opinion.
Hasn't had that around the grounds presence
No.
that he brings as well.
No, and he goes long. Quick hands here. They look like they've got a bit more time and space. Leading in the race, the ball. It's a great mark. Is it paid?
Yep.
It is paid to Brazel. He's a very good chest mark and low to the ground mark, and he will line up for his 4th.
He's got them everywhere. You play in front, he steams from behind, takes the mark at quarter time. You play a step behind, he leads out, marks them low. You go one-on-one with the body check, he wins on strength. Tea Tree Gully just don't have a defender to beat this guy.
Yes, the man they call T-Bone will line up, and he has had his difficulties in front of goal. He's kicked 3. I think it might be 3 goals.
3-3 by my calculations.
Yeah, but this one's from 25 metres out and barely an angle for his 4th. And a 41-point lead. And it is a minor score. Maybe he's got a sense of theatre about him, Adam Jeffries.
Yeah, look, it's the only blight on his game today. He's put on a clinic at full forward. Like Bill said, in all facets, lead, in drop zone protection is elite. Dodged a bullet there, Teacher Gully. Let's see if they can get the next goal, make it somewhat interesting.
Well, what he's doing is he's possibly doing him out of being the leading goal kicker at Prince Alfred this year. Of course, leading goal kicker Div 1 is based on the minor round, which Davis won. But right now, Brazil is on 52, Davis is on 54.
You'd want to win that, I reckon, at best and fairest night
Bit
at
of
Prince
brag
Alfred
and rights.
College. Yeah, there might be a significant little prize attached to that. I'd want it.
Free tuition for your kid. Anyway, we carry on. Penny, quick kick. It's a unfortunate kick. And that's just that pressure of Neil being around him. And even a minute ago, Neil.
That wasn't awarded a mark, surely.
No, it was
out
out.
in the full.
Out in the full, okay.
Went a metre and a half.
I was about to say.
So what is it about Neil that troubles Penny? He's done this to him already this year. I think it's the
jumped
fact
over him.
I think he's a left-handed tapper as well.
Yeah.
I think it changes the angle.
Oh, look
that
at
he comes
Brown.
in.
Yeah.
He is proppy. Sorry, Adam, but
Yeah.
he is proppy. And
Do you risk him, Tommy?
oh, yes, today you do.
Yeah.
You got 6 months to recover, but it's all PAC back there. Spilling what he should have taken was
Oscar.
Oscar Clark. But there's time, there's space, and there's support. There's 4 of them. Make that 5, and they'll just chip it up now. They'll do a hit-up kick. Good pressure from Teacher Gully, keeping the ball alive.
Brown going to full forward, Tommy.
Yeah, probably taking himself there, and that's not a bad option. He can kick a couple of goals, but
So it's not a hamstring, it's a knee hyperextension was the word I heard walking past the Teacher Gully people at halftime.
okay. PAC go along. It's all Teacher Gully though. Good mark there, Tyler Martin. Haven't seen him do a lot of that today. He's been thrown forward and back this year, and
He was really good forward in the first 2 finals, wasn't he, boys?
yeah, I think they're throwing him back now just to shore things up. Comes out this way towards Cody Tape. Tape, awful kick. All smothered there by Slee, is it? Wick, sorry. And a big tackle, and umpire says Teacher Gully ball. That one will be Cody Tape. I liked his development this year, Tape. He seems to have come a long way. And to Latham. Ball spoiled. Again, numbers with PAC at many a contest they feel.
Is it just me as the pace slowed
Yeah.
a smidge?
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah.
We're only 4 minutes into the third. And
The players are now kind of pacing themselves rather than going. They'll go full on when they have to, but when they don't have to, they'll just
it was
cut it back a
red
bit.
hot in the first quarter.
As a player, Tommy, you'd know if you're Prince Alfred, you think you've won this game. That little bit of self-preservation has come in early.
Yep, I want to play a GF. Oh,
Yep.
that's gone.
Too high.
No, yeah, too high on the fend off.
Yes.
Yeah, act surprised. McKay's out now. They need one here. He'll go to Brown on the 1-on-1, you'd think. He does. By the time it gets there, though, it's a 3-on-3, and PAC should
And he
clear out the
can't
back.
get
He
to the
can't
contest.
Yeah, yeah.
He actually should probably do himself a favour now, I think.
Yeah,
and
the wheel's broken.
call it a day.
Yep.
There's been courageous, but if you can't make a contest deep inside 50 and they're going to rebound, they're better
Yeah.
off getting a young player on.
And even he's going to get cut open here because he's not going to be able to block and cover.
And it already
Trying.
looks like Prince Alfred had 2 extra men on the ground.
Yeah.
Good on him for digging deep and chasing there, though.
Yeah.
That's great courage, that
That's
chase.
great,
boys. Yeah.
And he's still going.
Well, PAC
And we'll get a mark now.
Wow.
Ah!
I'm sure that's a free kick, but overall, boys, that's great courage by Luke Brown
Yeah.
just to get the energy up to do that.
That's the biggest reaction I've heard from you all year on a free kick, Phil. What's your thoughts on that last ball?
Oh, the free kick was probably there, but no.
Really?
No, but I mean, I'm not going to criticise the umpire. It's just the moment he did all that work and he gave away a free kick.
Boys, to young players as well, you ask like AFL experienced players when they push themselves to the brink when it's life or death. You could see Luke Brown, that's ingrained in your DNA that he wants to see this game of football out and he's going to keep doing it. And young players, take a leaf out of that book. That was awesome stuff, that chase.
Yeah. And they're still in the contest. They haven't conceded a goal yet this quarter. And the longer they can do that, the more they stay in it. But having said that, they go forward, PAC. Teacher Gully need to find it here. It's attacking without the ball as the Teacher Gully player. Got a few frees this quarter already. And there's another one. That one was certainly there, though. And I think it might be Tyler Martin deep in defence.
Sort of playing as a bit of a spare defender now, Tyler Martin. And he's been good. He's cut off a couple of forward forays already.
Now, Josh Flynn's had some work done onto Hazelhurst.
Dylan Wilson.
No, it's Hazelhurst.
Sorry, Hazelhurst, pardon me.
Noni.
Oh, they wouldn't call him that.
What'd you call him?
Nickname.
Oh,
Noni.
it's so bad. Oh, the PAC boys just giving a bit of a razz there.
Is that the PAC crowd up on the other hill, is it?
Yeah.
B graders having mad Saturday afternoon. After
Well,
that
they've got to
loss.
be the cheer squad next week because the C's and the B's are both in. So
Yeah, bad luck.
I was at the grand final last year, guys, and the banter between the Port District supporters and the PAC supporters on the far side, you would have been on the commentary side. It was elite. The white collar versus the blue collar talk was elite.
well, I mean, I've never seen a black and white own that wing at Norwood. They did. The numbers were fantastic. But they've got a photo of it up in the club rooms, which I think is really
PAC
good.
with all the answers at the moment, boys, so I'll just jump in with some footy calling here.
Okay.
You boys reminisce
Well,
about
it's
last
just
year.
a bit of circle work at the moment,
Yeah,
to be honest,
McKay under
DJ.
pressure, but again, they just seem to have the numbers and the time. And Trengrove, time for think music almost. Big come on, Gully's comes from the stand, and they go long down to Brazel, and why wouldn't you? He's been good in this circumstance. That's clever handball, McNamara, inside out. Not quite, you wouldn't think. And a minor score. That's this quarter, boys. We've seen 2 points to PAC, and Tea Gully yet to score. Hasn't been a lot.
Haven't quite put them away yet, PAC, have they? Where they could maybe do some self-preservation. Not quite yet.
It's one behind since quarter time in 38 minutes of football.
Okay.
Hazelhurst by the Bounds in front of the Mound Bar, which is one of the great places to watch Sandfield footy
Noni.
through the year. And he picks up James the cameraman, giving you the close shots there.
He flinched there, I reckon.
Yeah, Mazzini. Awkward but effective. Wicks goes along-ish. Percolator at ground level, but coughs it up, and Tea Gully should get it out. Again, that time it is Hazelhurst.
Oh, interesting hand pass.
Hands are out now, but Brown's the man down there, and he's not mobile. And there's 1, 2, 3 PAC players. Well protected. Protect the ball well there, McKay.
Did the Toby Green, didn't he? Very
Yep.
clever play by McKay.
Wick's not happy about that. One wants to watch the mark, and 2 wants to dispute that with the umpire. It's gone across the Chad Shardmakers. Now they've got a loose man way out on the eastern side. This is Zach McKay, who stops and props and waits for Trengrove to come to him.
Unfortunately, Phil, they just can't get the connection
Spittle.
moving forward with a lead-up player. It's all crosswork. Almost crabbing their way forward. And with Luke Brown as the deepest man, they're almost going to have to put it on his head or just to the fat side. I don't see a way for them to score 6 goals.
Looked for Napa on that occasion, but Tea Gully came out with the ball. McKay's got to do a similar protection job. Did well to get the body. It's on. Get the ball, kick around the body on the bounce. Hazelhurst couldn't quite thump it forward. It's 4-2, Prince Alfred. An easy pickup, an easy win, and they're out of defence. Holly Clark, good zip-zap. The run of Perks. Getting in the way, Heffernan.
Yeah, Heffernan did well there.
Back to Flynn, copped one a bit late. Straight down the throat of the coach, Craig Pitt. We're going to have a busy week next week. He spots up a teammate, Wildman. Here's the run. It's Curran having a shot on goal from 40. Chris Curran delivers his first goal for Prince Alfred Old Collegians has come in the prelim final and puts a lid on it.
First for the year.
First for Prince Alfred Old Collegians.
Never looked like missing either, did it?
His
Professionally
teammates
played.
knew it. And
Yeah.
His games hadn't had a lot of celebrations, but they all got around him there, didn't they?
17 games last year, 0 goals. 16 games coming into today, 0 goals this season. That's 33 without a goal. He'll be in the Sunday Mail tomorrow.
Yep.
He's been in there many times in the best players column, though,
Yep.
hasn't he? And he's been fantastic today as well. But he hasn't had an opponent, Tommy, has he? You know, we've spoken about manning Luke Brown up. You've got to man Curran up.
Just finding form at the right time of the year as well, isn't he? He's very good in the loss last week and again this week.
Missing his partner in crime, Mackenzie Slee, this week.
Interesting there, Neil using his right hand. You say he's a left-hander, mate, but
I've seen him go with both. And I
he
think
might
the
be
trumpet's
amphibious, as Merv Hughes once said. Curran again with a quick kick in front. This time it's Tea Gully. Good play leading into beelining the ball. Straight lines, but Jolly's there. Just wrestling his way out like a big bear. Coming out of hibernation. Neil's tackled strongly and we'll have a ball up. Just fall to the centre for PAC.
We've gone 12 minutes. The buddy bet, gamble responsibly, folks. It was 150 was the over, 149 was the under.
Still a chance.
77.
You had no chance, mate.
Well, it's going to take a 10-goal quarter to get close.
Melbourne have more chance of winning the premiership.
Demon supporters aren't happy today, are they?
No.
Tommy?
PAC will need to win by 20 goals for you to get your buddy bet, mate. That's not going to happen. But they are pushing forward. Pitt, quick kick. Just getting it from point A to B as quickly as possible. Beautiful mark. I'd say that's probably Tyler Martin. Not sure who it is. I'm just guessing based on the mark.
I don't think so.
Yes.
It is Tyler Martin.
It's been good this quarter.
Hazelhurst's done a few good things as well. Quick hands. They're trying everything they can, Teacher Gully.
So whilst we're thinking of things to entertain everybody for the next 45 minutes, don't forget, we do have our awards post-game. We've got the best player, the play of the game. The Mosley Award is Personos picks it up from 55. He sees an open goal. He needs a right hand turn. It almost took one.
And just
Not quite enough.
Just the chase from Mazzini there as well. Didn't give up. Just that implied pressure changed the dynamic of the kick. So well done.
I reckon Personos originally was thinking, I'm going to go all the way here, but it was a fantastic chase.
That is the second point that Teacher Gully have kicked since quarter time. Transition by Prince Alfred. They have it.
And they just couldn't do this last week, Phil. They could not do it against Glenunga on the small ground, but today they've done it with the plum, haven't they? It's just there's been time, there's been space. Now, is that Davis? Humphreys?
In front of the scoreboard.
Spent a lot of time on the bench last week, Humphreys, but always very positive, great voice, great leader, very popular character with the Reds.
Good to see him back because he was a long time out with injury.
Yeah, just probably going to put it at the top of the square. He does. It's PAC will fly at ground level. Oh, you can't miss from there. That's 4 goals, Tyson Brazel. That's the ball game to PAC without taking the PI 55. It's PAC versus Glenunga next week in the grand final. As we've kind of said all year, the best two teams will play off, and it's going to be an interesting game. And I guess now, not being disrespectful to the game we're watching now, but you start looking and thinking about some of those matchups. I know we're at the urinal. I've had some good times and bad times at the urinal this year, but at halftime we're talking about some of the matchups for next week. Why is it so funny to you? To overshare, maybe?
Yeah, Tommy and I end up at the urinal
every week, don't we?
Every week at halftime, and the
no earpiece in the Euro.
Just working on our commentary craft.
Yeah.
And
little dribble.
But we were talking about
matchup,
and we're talking about Brazel, and he's kicked 4 goals, 5 by my reckoning today. But this is a great confidence builder for him going into next week. If you kick 6 or 7 in a prelim, which you can, he'll be feeling $1 million through the week, albeit he's got Mr. Go-Go Gadget arms on him next week.
Davis, 54 goals, Brazel, 53.
Yep.
I'm looking for anything to keep interest in this. This reminds me a little bit of last year when basically Princes did a nullifying job on the Goodwood Saints.
Well, we've got grand finals, we've got prelim finals, we've got people getting promoted today. It's a very exciting day of football. Of course,
Keep us updated on those scores at the other grand.
I'm going to go and get some score updates.
Go Darnley Jets.
I was out at obviously the Plains grand final this morning. There have been 3,000 people there at 9:30. I was in a 500-metre line. Absolute scenes at the Virginia Footy Club.
Well, these are the magic days, and I love the fact that the AFL plays the Saturday game at night, gives the afternoon to the suburban, the country, and the Sandhill gets tomorrow. And it does make you wonder what would happen if the AFL actually had a time slot during the season, aka Saturday afternoon, where it said we won't play footy in this time slot. We'll leave that to the other layers of the sport.
When would Kelly Underwood commentate if that was the case?
Kelly can commentate whenever they want to nominate.
No, she's very good. She's very good. She just gets her colours confused sometimes.
We'll share funnies tapes, TJ. We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never criticise commentators.
No, she's all right.
They're, through the grace of other things,
I
go
found
on.
the Orange team call very funny, though.
Yes.
So, because we were watching the Reds, who are maroon.
Yes. And there's the Queensland rugby side as well, so.
Yeah.
Very, very red.
And who's laughing? She's probably on 200,000 a year, and I'm on.
I was about to say, compare the pair.
I'm happy though. I love doing this. It's been a privilege. Obviously, I'm not going to be here each week next year because I've signed with Virginia, but it's been an absolute joy every week, Phil. Having a lot of fun.
Oh, we've had fun.
Been unbelievable.
No, it has been great, and great to have Adam providing that level of expertise as the season got serious.
Someone to wee with.
Yeah, that's very important.
I did cop a bit of a spray on the internet for mentioning Josh Henke's OnlyFans account.
Yes, you did.
Right, so big
You
shout out.
notice-
He's not coming to my
You
birthday
notice I
party, that
didn't
guy.
come and support you in any of that. I just let-
Publicity is good publicity.
Yeah,
Tommy.
mate. If I just upset one person a day, that's a good day. So, but this is we're at the 17-minute mark. The scoreboard tells us 21
48.
scoring shots to 8.
Like if-
48 points.
So if I'm coaching Prince Alfred right now, I know it's not three-quarter time, but some of my older veteran players, I'm seriously considering not putting on the park in the last quarter here, boys. I know that's a big call.
Get the kids around.
Yeah, they've got, you mentioned Humphries.
Well done,
and that. They've got
Hazelhurst.
some bench players that they don't use as much in their rotations. I'd be considering that if I'm...
Sorry, pardon me. Are we saying PAC or Teacher Gully?
No, PAC for
Yeah,
next
I thought
week.
you said Teacher Gully, but
I'm
okay.
saving some old legs for
Luke
next week.
Brown's out. He's on.
Hey.
Maybe this isn't quite all. Well, it is.
I mean, he can kick
doesn't
long
wanna kick it.
distance fully fit. We saw that in the first quarter. In fact, he kicked the last Tea Tree Gully goal in the first quarter at about the 15-minute mark.
I still think it's a fantastic effort that he stayed
Is there a runner that's going to come and help him? Tyler Martin is
Martin's
trying to
thinking
come
about
over
it.
and help.
I think they're onto him though. Yep, here we go. Oh, couldn't he get a 50 for running onto his left there? That would have been smart.
From 51, 49, it's high up and under. It's not going to get there. I think you're spot on, Phil. The injury probably curtailing the power in the leg.
And there was
It's certainly not going to help.
There was a degree of pain. You could see in his reaction after he kicked it, thinking maybe that wasn't the best idea.
Trengrove will just run amok this last 40 minutes now.
We got a courage award in our bag of tricks this week.
No.
No.
Me coming up and down these stairs.
TJ Special Award.
Yeah. Now, at three-quarter time, I'm probably not going to spend too much time at the Teacher Gully Huddy. I might just get a bit of insight from PAC because you don't want to...
Maybe they'll start ranting and raving at each other now, Tommy.
You reckon? Well, they've been calm all year. I'm not sure if anything's going to change. And ground level, they're still fighting hard here, Teacher Gully. Well won there by...
I mean, even last year, when Port District jumped them, they were calm at quarter time from what I can remember. And they worked their way back into the contest. They just gave Port District too much of a head start on that oval against that defensive-minded team.
They have a system of play, Prince Alfred, that whether it's right or wrong, they believe in, and they're just reinforcing that at the breaks. That's basically what they're doing. They won't change anything next week either. They will have to do some different things to curtail Glenunga's aerial dominance. So Brown looks like he's done.
Yeah, Luke Brown's come from the ground. Yeah. And they played small up forward. They'll send personals down there now, but I'm not sure the ball's going to get there too much because
Ollie.
it's Clark streaming towards goal in best position. Oh, he just... Maybe a lack of voice, but Brazel just needed to leave that for Davis. Or maybe he spoiled him and said, nah, I'm going to win the
We
game.
were wondering if they were going to get in each other's way this year, and really they haven't.
First time, they play a bit of a different style. Davis more of a lead-up type forward with a beautiful kick and the ability to run the ball, and does push high up onto the wings as well, Davis. So
And he's the difference next week as well. We didn't see him on the park last week, Tommy, so can Davis have an impact in the grand final to help their efficiency and inside 50 work?
And Jolly is within range for Jolly. He'll kick from probably right on the 50 just about, maybe 51, and he's a beautiful kick.
Hasn't kicked a goal this final series. His last goal was round 18, which was against Tea Tree Gully.
Yeah. He'll take up all the time he needs to and line up from 50, lining up for his first. And they're 10. From just outside the paint. It's a nice looking kick. The goal umpire just moves a little and says near side. Certainly no trouble with the distance. The accuracy slightly askew.
Just times the ball so well, Jolly. He just had 2 steps and kicked that too.
Yeah, that sound off the boot that you get from professional football, obviously. He's one of the 1,058 games or more. Not one of them.
Gold Coast Sun, the inaugural player, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He was a Gold Coast Sun.
He was a very good.
Of course, I was
Glenelg as well.
Yeah, I was at the base when I was at the base, and ripper of a bloke, very quiet.
One of the great kicks, even at SANFL and AFL level, he was a very good kick. Obviously, that translates to this level.
The margin, game high 50.
Pritchard ducks the chutney. Yeah, that's a good decision, umpire. Duck the head. Don't see nothing. No, don't even argue with it.
Umpires are getting better at that, aren't they, Tommy? I reckon.
Yeah,
they're
picking
identifying
it.
when and they know the duckers. That was good umpiring.
Mother duckers. Yeah.
10 minutes into the third quarter at Price Memorial Oval, Mitcham. CMAX Clinical Research Division 7 Grand Final. It is
The farmers are
Ingle
home.
Farm 11,975. Houghton 3927.
Houghton lining up for goal, though.
No, they just kicked it.
Okay.
11-9 to 3-9. 48 points the margin.
Wonder what they'll complain about this week, Houghton. Oh, they got a bit to say.
Goal kicking inaccuracy.
No, I'm all Ingle Farm. I'm all about the farms. And obviously, you helped Kerry Payne get to the club, and to see him win a flag, such a great man. Well done, Kerry Payne. Well done, the Bulldogs, my local home team.
How will they go up a division, Tommy? They'll compete next year?
Yes, they certainly will. Well, they were clear. They've lost one game all year in round one. So, but anyway, this is Teacher Gully going forward, but all Mazzini back there. Personal, of course, is a spoil. There's no Teacher Gully fans get restless. Did you see that one down there? They say
they're still boisterous, the Gully supporters, aren't they? They haven't given up.
Proud club, 162 years, a lot of good people, great quality. I love going to the Gullies.
Just back on Ingle Farm in 2020 when there were no games, we had to come up with some, and so we had a bracket competition on between the posts for the best oval, and we just matched out of a hat. We matched up all 68 in a bracket setup.
I remember that.
Ingle Farm won it. Wow. Roe Park.
And they've got the electronic scoreboard now. Yeah. I've always, because I drive past it every day, obviously, and I have the same conversation with my wife. They're a Div 7 club that should be in Div 3. Well, they're on their way up. It's starting to set. But back here, Spittle, good intercept, but clean pair of hounds. Beautiful ground ball. Gets it to Bradley. He'll go on the left, down the line to Trengrove. Awkward bounce, does him no favours. Still somehow finds time to gather the ball. Again, a few mistakes creeping in. And out of bounds, right in front of our man, Big Bad Jim. On the camera.
23-minute mark of the third quarter. James doing a stellar job.
Is he?
He is.
All right.
Gives us the ground level perspective.
I get Jordan
Makes two cameras seem like 10.
Oh, he does. Jordan
part of the filming footy crew.
Near award level today. Coming back from a bad burn. As it's Clark streaming towards. This is the danger man. Brazel at ground level. Davis. On his right, he's a left footer. Wow. That's an absolute beauty. He gives the big salute to his mates at PAC. Jaden Davis, where were you last week? He gets his third. And I talked about it last week. I talked about it on the show. I talked about it today. It's that money ball effect. If he averages 3 goals a game, you get 3 goals from him. You just simply can't not pick him in a final.
That's why I was critical last week, because we knew the Glenunga game was going to be an 8-goal to 6 game last week. And a guy that's just capable of finding 2 or 3 goals is just so much more critical than any other player around. But this is why Davis is a good player as well. He's good in the air, but Davis perfectly front and centre around Brazel on that occasion. And that's what he needs to do, Davis. Brazel is going to draw the ball. And if he can make the contest, Davis with a great crumb on that occasion.
Back in the middle. It's been 10 goals unanswered by the Red Men. Once they got going, just unstoppable. As Ryan Heffernan just found out, Prince Alfred with the pickup looking for Davis on this occasion. To the front of the pack. Bit of a slam tackle there from Humphreys. Umpire says that's okay. TJ's headed down to give us some insight from the huddles at 3/4 time, which is imminent. We're ticking into the 25-minute mark.
One of those awkward ones, that tackle. If he hits his head, he's in trouble, but luckily no injury, so all good.
Shadows just starting to creep a little bit from the grandstand over the centre wing of this ground. That will get longer as the next hour progresses. But a snap around the body has delivered a goal.
Davis again, I believe.
And just confirming.
Jaden Davis.
Jaden Davis it is. So we've got Brazel with 4, Davis a late entry with 4. That's 8 of the 11. And the Red Men march on. 11-14-80. Teacher Gully 2-6-18. A 62-point margin. What's happening in some other games? Well, Div 2. Still in the third quarter. Payneham Norwood Union ahead by 23 points. You want to know Div 3.
Go the Jets.
It is Modbury by 36 in the third quarter. Div 4, this is all on the Sportal app, by the way, folks. If you want to keep track of these things, I recommend finding it. CBC are leading Paraka. That's a surprise. 30 points. As McNamara goes in, and it's all falling apart. Siren goes. It's been marked by, I think it's Lucas Schultz. Cast the mind back to a similar position at the end of the first quarter. Gully's had a 2-goal lead. Brazel came and took a great contested mark. Brought it back to a goal, and that was all she wrote for Teacher Gully. Shaw's with 8 goals on the season. 12 league games, 5 reserves. He wants to be in the action next week, and that won't hurt. He's dobbed his first. Prince Alfred, their 12th. They go to 12, 14, 86. Teach Gully 2, 6, 18. That is a 68-point margin at lemon time in the Div 1 prelim final. We'll be back with TJ from the huddles, Adam with some stats. I'll get some scores around the other grounds. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League.
Folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
There you have it, Hisense Stadium at Richmond. Beautiful aerial shot there, home of the Adelaide Footy League Division 1 preliminary final, where it has been one-way traffic after quarter time. Prince Alfred have kicked the last 12 goals of the contest. 12, 14, 86, Teacher Gully. 2 early ones in the first. That's been it in terms of majors. Let's go down boundary side to Tommy Javor.
As you could expect, boys, Teacher Gully, fairly subdued. Keep your heads up, play with pride, win the last quarter. Got a report on Luke Brown, hyperextended the knee, so we wish him all the best. PAC, obviously everything looking good. Interesting to see McNamara asking for a sponge bath out there. Found that interesting. They want a 4-quarter effort. Pressure must be good. Lower the eyes when the ball is trying. Split them, create a 2-on-1. Most important message from Craig Pitt was that I want to head into this grand final with momentum. Let's make it count. We go in next week on a high. Thanks, boys. Back up to you in the central commentary position.
Thanks so much, and what a wonderful commentary position it is. Thanks to West Adelaide for allowing us to work here on the great platform to see the full view of an oval, a city backdrop. It's a lovely day for footy, Adam.
Yeah, it's warm, and it is great to see the game because you can really see the structures forward and behind the ball. You can't always get at ground level. Teacher Gully now, they just want to play the game out, playing for a bit of pride. Prince Alfred just keep working on their foot skills, getting some confidence going for next week. Their forwards in particular feel filling their boots, feeling good leading into the grand final.
So can Teacher Gully get a third goal? They've gone a full half without one. They're going to the left to screen, Prince Alfred to the right. Some scores around the other games. They're big games. Div 7 grand final, CMAS Clinical Research, midway through the third quarter. Ingle Farm with a 50-point lead. No close ones, I should add. I think the closest margin I've got's 23 points. As Jolly is swung around and around and around, that is holding the ball. A testament to the toughness of the Prince Alfred jumper. So, as it is Teacher Gully looking for that first goal since the first quarter. Tyler Martin with the kick. The snap around the body is that Personos. It looks like Personos. Of course, it's Peter Personos. Who else would it be? He gets his first on the afternoon. Teacher Gully Nation can excel at it, but they finally got that third goal. 3-6-24. Prince Alfred 12-14-86. Adam, any thoughts? Then I'll give you the other scores around the grounds.
First thought was that was a great goal by Persis because it was him that made the contest in the air against two, and he might have put a knee in the back of one of the Prince Alfred defenders with the great contest, grabbed the crumb on the ground, snapped a great goal. Good start of the quarter for Teacher Gully.
All right, so here are the margins late in the third quarter at all these other prelims, with Ingle Farm leading by 50, Div 7 grand. Div 6 prelim at Elizabeth, Greenacres leading Salisbury by 26 points. Div 5 prelim at Campbelltown, Kilburn leading Colonel Light by 39 points. Division 4 at Glenelg, here's my shock of the day. CBC leading Paraka by 30 points. Division 3 prelim at Norwood Modbury by 36 as Prince Albert go forward, and a mark's been taken, which gives me a chance to tell you what's happening in Div 2 at Woodville. Payneham Norwood Union 23-point leaders over Foss Camden.
As it's Jaden Davis lining up from 40 metres out.
Kick one when you went down is after his fifth goal.
Beehive.
So great confidence builder for him going into next week, Tommy. I reckon if Davis can kick 2 or 3 goals next week, it changes the ball game.
Well, it doesn't look like Glenunga are going to kick 13, does it?
No.
It's not the kind of team they look like. It's not the style they play. 10 probably wins next week, so where do you get your 10 from? Anyway, it's Davis from 40 out. Normally a beautiful kick. And he has made him work a bit, but that's his value. He doesn't need a ton of touches. That's a Michelle Pfeiffer. A handful for the man we call Juice. What a great game, what a great comeback. And I reckon that might just have snuck him into the TJ Awards.
All righty, well, that's what we've got to look forward to. It was 5 goals, 4-1 behind in that third quarter after 6 goals, 6-1 behind in the second. Now, the buddy bet is a little bit interesting.
Buddy bet's on, boys.
Because it's 116. What are we, 30, 33 for the unders, 34 for the overs, and we've almost got a full quarter to work it.
I'm back.
We've had 2 goals so far in 3 minutes at that pace.
I know we're only 3 minutes to the last quarter, Phil, but this is, with all due respect, it's a bit of junk time.
Yep.
That too, we've landed on for best on ground.
Fine by me.
That's all right by you?
You are the gurus.
You take into consideration who played well early when the heat was on.
The second quarter was unbelievable.
In terms of the play of the day, I think from Prince Alfred it was that Brazel mark at quarter time goal. Changed momentum as Teacher Gully go forward. Personos just trying to get them back single-handedly at the moment is marked on the 50-metre arc. The rest, TJ, I'll leave in your exceptionally capable hands.
So therefore, I'll give him an award for. Are we just chatting amongst ourselves?
Him and
that one there because of his resilience. Peter Personos, one of my absolute favourites, lining up for their fourth, and his second, is it? It's right on the line. He's got there, has he?
Yes.
Oh, we might need a score review. Beautiful kick, Peter Personos. Well done. The real ones always battle on all the way to the end. It doesn't help your buddy bets. His second. What could have been if perhaps maybe he just found a metre on that other kick in the first quarter? He had 2 shots early.
He's a good player, Personos, isn't he? Another 40 goals this year in Division 1. In a team that only won 8 games during the season, he Yeah, it doesn't sound like a lot, Tommy, but a guy that can kick you 2 and 3 goals every week in Division 1 is priceless. Like I said, it doesn't
40
sound
goals,
like
20 games, and 2 today. So he's
42. So, I mean, I obviously I picked team of the year. So
he's the best small forward in the
competition. Well, that's the
competition,
thing. That like if you're picking a team to play, he makes it. Whether he'll be in the team or not.
Is he in the best 20 players in the competition, though? Is he the best in that position? Yes.
Time will tell, mate. Otherwise, they need to watch between the posts. Also, while we've got TV shows, just quickly, they do let me do this, Phil. It is signed, sealed and delivered. Eagle Farm now, they've won, will be on Community Bounce this week. Of course, the television show I do about all local footy communities. This week will be Adelaide Footy League, Div 7. All the reptiles from Eagle Farm will be in celebrating Pack Globe Derby.
I thought they were Bulldogs.
So, yeah, they turn into reptiles when they've had a few.
Right.
As seeing a big round of applause.
Chris Curran doing a stretch. This is where this is where you'd be feeling it a bit now.
I'd have Curran in an ice bath right now.
Jolly to McNamara. And the ground just opens up. He's probably got... he went a fair way. That's what I'm going to say. Put in the path of Davis.
Just keep an eye on Curran here, boys. He's turned an ankle and had a bit of a bad knock to his lower leg.
Yeah.
So I reckon we'll see some cotton wool come out here.
And the recovery by Princes was elite. Tom Humphries is marked. He's going to line up for his 5th goal of the season.
If you were Prince Alfred and you had one wish, it would be for Chris Curran not to be injured in this last quarter. Get him off.
Especially if you might not have Mackenzie sleep.
Very slow. What happened?
Yeah, he's had a knock to his ankle, lower leg injury, and he hasn't got past that walking pace. So he looks a little bit disappointed, actually. So let's hope that's nothing serious.
As Humphries lines up, Bollumby does a little bit of work, goes to the near side, minor score, and probably a good thing they haven't kicked perfectly straight today, otherwise it could have been messy. But
they'd have a hyperbaric chamber at Prince Alfred, wouldn't they, Tommy? They'd have
at the college.
They'd have all the healing tools at the Prince Alfred school.
All their grandparents would be frozen somewhere in a cellar at Prince Alfred. They're that rich. Do you know they used to make... There's
a line, TJ, there's a line. I think we were fine with the hyperbaric chamber.
Shout out to Peter Carter. He loves me.
Well, 3 grand finals in 3 years. That is no mean feat in this competition.
Nice spin move. Right, well done there, Breeden. I like that.
We might talk about Teacher Gully a little bit after this play as well, boys, because whilst today is a bit of a blowout, this is a great experience. You've got to remember, Tommy spoke before the game about the AFL, SANFL experience. Bar Luke Brown, Teacher Gully have none of it. They're local homegrown kids who've been coming through. Maybe. Yeah, Personos maybe. But they have a bunch of local kids. And I read during the week, Mascotta said that they've debuted 18 A-grade players this year. So this was a rebuilding year for them. Justin was away last year, come back this year. He's building the list again for the next tilt, and they've made a prelim. So they're a little bit outclassed today. But this is a great experience for them. They need to add a couple of recruits if they can, and they can be around the mark big time next year.
I think one of their issues is when they get outplayed, they haven't worked out a way to stifle momentum.
No.
So when it goes bad, it goes really bad on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's a fair comment, Phil. They've had a couple of blowout losses this year, haven't they? And to be a really good top 3 team, you pull up the graphs every week of the top 3 teams, and their biggest loss for the season is 13 points. You know, so the ability to defend the ground and halt the opposition when you're not playing so well is something that they'll work on. But that comes with experience as well.
Just ball spilling here. Ground level now. The Teacher Gully do push forward. Personal's looking for his 3rd in the quarter, but good defensive there by Pritchard. But on the cover, and again, just that desperation, showing complete commitment all the way to the end. Absolutely crucial. And Mazzini was scored it over the line. Have a look at those 4 award winners, see what you think. Yeah, so it's a 64-point ball game here. Which was on the cards once they started breaking in the second PAC, and full credit to Teacher Gully. What a tremendous late rally they had in the season, but was always going to be a battle to get over those final 2 hurdles. So they've done certainly very well, though. Ball in here. Ruckman do battle. Comes out the back. Spittle, quick kick round the corner. Goal. That's a really nice football there, Ryan Spittle. Full credit to Teacher Gully. His first. They keep fighting. It's fair to say the second quarter and third quarter they were outscored 11 goals, 10 to 2 points. That's where the game was won and lost. But in this last quarter, well, they're winning it. Yeah, they're currently winning it. So
a few junk time goals helping the Buddy Bat boys. There's not a lot of pressure out there now. So
130.
I think we're going to see a few
4
more
goals.
I think it's
Gamble responsibly, of course.
5 goals, isn't it?
Yes, should be 5. They've kicked 3 this quarter.
I've got 5 goal kickers. Goal kickers for Teacher Gully, just more of them. Pete Personos 2, Luke Brown 1, Ryan Spitter 1, Jake Robinson.
Yeah, I agree.
Scoreboard attendance gone for a barbecue.
5 goals. Yeah, he's been doing 3 games, so young Charlie Kiddo, West Adelaide reserves player. He's cooked. Because he might be listening to us in the box there. He might be talking to his girlfriend on the phone. But anyway,
that one as well.
No, yeah. This is the last thing you want to see. Hopefully it's cramp, but that's not the look of a man with cramp.
I think he just turned his ankle slightly on the landing. Ankles you can get up from.
It's Tommy Humphries, though, who's had ankle problems. It is Tommy Humphries, isn't it?
Yes.
Co-captain. And just while he is down, we hope he recovers quickly. I might have missed a goal or two because I was...
Okay, let me help you out.
Jaden Davis 5.
Yep.
Tyson Brazel 4.
Yep.
Wildman 1.
Yep.
McNamara 1. Yep.
No. I've got Curran, Macaulay, Schultz, and Wildman, unless Macaulay's was McNamara's.
So just give us your singles again.
Singles, Chris Curran.
Yep.
Macaulay.
Yep.
Schultz. Wildman.
Right.
It's a bit of concern here for Humphries, which is really disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah, he has had ankle problems.
It was ankle problems, so he's definitely on his right ankle at the moment. That's why his good mates from school are a bit concerned here.
And look, we hope he's okay, but again, we talk about that reserves game. We talk about Glenunga's side of it, where the guy's pushing for selection. You never wish injury on anyone, but there's a reserves player at PAC right now. If things
should get off the cans on the hill, Tommy, maybe.
Yeah, maybe check on his mate because...
Yeah, he's very sore. That's disappointing, but a rolled ankle as well, Tommy. You can recover from that during the week, though. Like I said,
one thing I'll say, though, is Glenunga, when they lost that Div 2 grand final, took 5 injured players in and might have had a few magic injections that just didn't work.
did he touch his knee?
He
actually?
did. That's the first thing he went to.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was his lower leg ankle.
Yeah, that's what and you wouldn't be walking like that on your ankle, so either way, he's certainly done himself a mischief.
That's probably worse news because an ankle you can get up for, a decent knee sprain makes it hard. You've seen Luke Brown with the knee sprain today. You just can't impact the game, can you?
No, Craig Pitt will take the ball now, 70 metres out. It's a long stoppage, 12-minute mark, final quarter. And again, PAC now would be a preservation mode. I expect Teacher Go to win this quarter quite well because they'll take a lot of time off the clock.
Well, that's 2 now. That's Curran and Humphries.
So who are the other key players for Prince Alfred that you want, like the player you can't afford to lose? They're the ones you think. Obviously, you've got all your soldiers are important, but every team has 2 and 3 guys that struggle when they're not on the park. Curran's one.
Yep.
I'd say Brazel's one.
Yep.
If Brazel does a late ankle, you hate talking like this, boys.
Yeah,
but, if Brazel doesn't play next week, they just can't score. So
they still rank Trengrove the number 1 player in the game, but with PAC, they've got six
players
really
like
good
him.
midfielders. Yeah, they've got exactly right. So the other one, I don't want to overstate his importance today, but Jordan Neal for me.
and he's coming off an injury.
So he's been crucial. His ability to tap with either hand.
Yeah, and their key position stocks are light, aren't they? So for me, Brazel and Neal, here's some cotton wool boys. And if Teacher Gully kick 2 or 3 goals here, it doesn't matter. We're
going to see a fair bit of uncontested stuff from here on in, Phil.
Andrew Bradley onto Pitt. So probably did a few times back in the Bay days.
So Pitt started with it 70 metres out. They had 6 or 7 kicks, and Pitt's ultimately just sauntered into the pocket.
You'd almost
be some
want to just slow the game right down, not because you want to stop your opponent from scoring, just
So Neil's coming back on. Sorry, Phil.
Have as least amount of physical stuff as you need to have in the final quarter.
30 metres out, class player like this wouldn't be beyond him. And he's just pushed it across the face, and all the way across the face, I think. No, just a minor score there.
Quick shout out
3
as well,
behinds.
if you don't mind, to our old mate Sean Jackson's coaching the grand final down in the southeast today. Scores level at 3/4 time versus Border Districts after the 1-point win last week.
In double overtime.
Yes.
How's Jacko's form? He took a coaching gig, didn't coach the first 8 weeks.
He got them into the grand final.
Yeah.
Loves it.
Good place, Kingston. Nice lobsters down there. Not cheap, but good.
Yeah. Big one.
Here's
as well.
McKay. McKay out. Man. Tick lead here from Persos will get him the ball. He does come back up at it, but he doesn't quite have the height to compete with the player dropping back. That was, of course, Oscar Clark. The younger of the two brothers who aren't brothers. Does that make sense?
23 points the lead to Paynham Norwood Union over Foss.
It's like you've got a vested interest
Just
in
on that
something.
result, boys, bad luck to Foss. I think Paynham are the only team that can challenge Golden Grove, in my opinion. I don't think Foss can
They
challenge.
beat him in round one.
Yeah. So
no one bleeds Paynham blood more than me, mate, but I actually will challenge on that one and say Golden Grove are... I mean,
they'll get closer than Foss would have.
Well, they beat Foss by 97 last week,
Paynham know how to play those big games, though. There'll be some nerves at Golden Grove. I think that'll be a good grand final.
The wide expanses of the Eagles? What are they called?
Woodville Oval.
Woodville Oval. Mortein Kia.
Mortein was what I'm looking for. I want to be respectful of the sponsors.
So who's here next week then? Is that Div 3 here?
I assume it's Div 3. So that's going to be CBC and...
No, Div 3 will be Flinders Park and Modbury.
Aren't the Jets fought back yet, Tommy? Have we got a score?
No. Is the short answer.
So that's fantastic news. So
42 points the margin there.
One of their players is now the drinks waiter for me at every sample function for the rest of the year if they don't make the grand final. So that was a very, very big bet. It's a lot of functions this time of year.
And CBC Odd Collegians at Glenorg Oval are hanging on. They are 27 points in front.
Just grabbing their way forward, sorry, Phil, here, and just doing it smartly without any contact. And again, this is just clever football, preserving the energy. They'll look for Brazel. Will they? And they find him on the second grab. Good mark.
Wildman, I think.
It's not Brazel?
No. That's Wildman. I think Brazel may be in Cottonwool on the bench, which is a very good move, in my opinion.
Yep, sorry, it is Wildman. Back to you, Phil, as he lines.
Kilburn have a 43-point lead over Colonel Light Gardens, final quarter. So none of these are particularly close now.
Colonel Light Gardens gave me a bit of feedback on the fact I tipped Kilburn. Now you know why, as he just pushes it high. And it's a goal. It's his second. It is second goal to Cam Wildman. He's having a very good day himself, as are all the PAC. Carry on, Phil Hurd.
How are we doing for the buddy bet? 137.
I can't believe that's even close.
I just felt the game, there would be goals in the second half. You're talking about the scores around the grounds, Phil. Preliminary finals end up being 1-point belters or blowouts, don't they? There's never an in-between.
There's no tomorrow.
No. So, which is a shame sometimes.
Coach Adam Sylvie, or sort of bench coach, assistant coach?
Well, you needed 21 goals, and you got 19 at the moment, given the amount of points that have been scored.
Friday and Ruckney against O'Neill. Beautiful left-handed palm down. Gets it back. He's done that all right today. Bit of Blake Penny about that, getting the own tap back, but McKay should clear. Does. Goes straight across the ground. Haven't done a lot of play-by-play lately, Phil. Bit of a refresher for some of our viewers here as this game obviously...
Peters out.
Yeah, a lot to worry about next week. Very excited. A double Glenunga grand final. That is hard to believe.
And the other speaking of grand finals, Div 7 into the fourth quarter by about 4 minutes. 73-point lead to Ingle Farm. 113 to 40.
We party out there tonight, Tommy.
Oh.
You might swing by.
Might just drop in and announce myself.
You might say to the missus about midnight, nah, I might just go for a walk. I can't sleep. I'm too excited.
Well, yeah.
Damien Hardwick style from the Richmond Premiership just went for a walk at 3 a.m. with all the faithful.
Down
Big
Swan
win,
Street.
though. Big win in the grand final, though, isn't it?
10 years to the day, nearly, and they won the Div 7 flag, Ingle Farm. So it is. Well, under Kerry Payne, of course, 10 years ago, it was Wayne Knowles who got the chocolates for Ingle Farm. And that fateful day at Salisbury that's remembered for all the wrong reasons. But anyway, game didn't actually quite finish, thanks to some interference coming on the ground. But not a great day for football, really. But we've all moved on. As Jaden Davis gets another friend. Interesting, obviously, boys, I do my Dartfish deep dive on a Sunday morning. Really interested to see Jaden Davis' stats. I reckon it'd be up. It'd have to be. Oh, it's ugly. It works. You know it's your day then, don't you? When you kick the ground and you lace them out, you get it back here.
He's been the low possession assassin today, hasn't he? Brazel's had that so much of the ball, and Davis has kicked more goals than him.
I reckon Davis has had 15 today, which is really good for the role he plays. So.
This guy Wildman's the key for Prince Alfred next week, Tommy. He can't just accept it's going to be a tough, tight game. He needs to inject himself into the game. Yep. You know, the coach has to work with him and inject some confidence or change his role slightly. You can't just say, it's going to be a hard day, it's going to be close. If Wildman touches the ball, they win.
We did talk about how big Trengrove will be late in the game as well, with the best fitness probably of anyone on the ground. And he's just almost wandering around unchallenged at times now. Yeah, and once you've come out of 10 AFL sample pre-seasons, you do have that base fitness just to run and push.
We saw that with Luke Brown as well, just pushing through a pain barrier. It's life or death stuff for those guys at that level.
Doesn't always do this well. 40 metres out. Make a liar of me. Could probably not have been any more through. I only just made the distance, Phil. Got the strength of his skill set, but you know what? He goes all right.
He doesn't have a 50-metre kick in him anymore.
No, that's maybe what I was getting at.
That is what I would call right down King William Street.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. We're right behind it too. Nearly looked like missing the middle of the goals and getting an inch to the left, but no, get the middle in the end.
And boys, Brazil has been off the ground for the majority of this last quarter, so I'm assuming that's cotton wool. Let's hope there's no injury there.
Brazil, Curran,
and Neil are three players you just can't afford to lose. Yeah. Neil, obviously, with the point situation as well that they face. So Neil, Curran, Brazil, get in the hyperbaric chamber and relax, boys.
Neil's looked fresh as well today, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
71 points.
Another clearance for him.
Again.
It's 143 in total.
Whoa.
20 in winter time on. The buddy bet is well and truly on as Prince Alfred go forward. It spills. Oh, that could be a handy point.
Oh, the old handy point, Phil.
That could be a handy point.
Listen to you two buddy bets with mate, boys. I'm actually going to head down a little bit earlier, not to get everything organised. It's been an absolute pleasure calling a prelim. Sorry, it's petered out a little bit. 72-point margin.
Big week ahead, though.
Yeah, congratulations to PAC. I look forward to get into the weekly wrap between the posts this week. It's a big barrel.
Yep.
Oh,
not a bad
meteorology.
One of the biggest grand final days in Adelaide Footy League history with Div 1 to 6 and the men's all on the one day.
Davis.
Davis with it. The overs want one more goal.
Well, that's awkward. But anyway, boys, I'm off. I'll catch you after the game.
Okay, see you then, TJ. And thank you for all your efforts. And yeah, you got your steps in literally today. And then some. Tea Tree Gully have it. Because of Tea Tree Gully goals, that's the overs done as well. But anyway, Tyler Martin with a long kick. Personos is lurking. He's marked. Adam Jeffries, I should get you to call this. The Salisbury at the 20-minute mark have come to within 20 points of Greenacres.
The buddy bet's important. My buddy bets, after starting the season very well with you, Phil, my buddy bets were spot on early, weren't they? Last couple of weeks have been off.
You couldn't have started any better than the Kakuro 3 goals for the game. And he gets them
15 in, didn't he?
15 in.
That was good. That was good commentary craft.
I'll let you call this one, Adam. So you can get excited if he kicks it.
For 150 combined points, and he's missed.
Okay.
There was that injury stop, though, so there's still a few minutes to go here, boys.
22.
Might want to check on the bench just to the health of some of the PAC players when you're down there, Tommy, as well, because that's going to play a key part. A freshly rested Glenunga team against...
All right, so it is Prince Alfred have it in no particular hurry. Kick comes out and finds Macaulay.
This is like a
at the 25-metre dash.
Keepings off, try and go the length of the ground.
This is where they practice a few things, I guess. And Trengove runs off of Robinson. Into a bit of traffic in the middle. Wicks, here comes the run. The dash through the T-saucer. Finds a target. Nice low mark to Schultz, who's impressed today. Not paid the mark. I'll have to go back and see what happened there. No mark, but he's got the free. Can the Redmen get one more goal and make Adams' day? Pritchard has it. Half forward flank into the old scoreboard pocket. Here's a chance. An open goal beckons for the overs. No. A few chances going begging. I think that might have been Lockie Charlton on that occasion with the shot. 23 and a half gone. Currently 72 points the margin, 146 points in total. And Latham's taken the mark half-back flank. Not a lot of shade on this ground, just a little bit from the grandstand. Kicks in the Spittle direction, he couldn't take the mark. Penny at ground level, good pick up. Oscar Clark goes for a ride. Spills to Sumner, he's tackled instantly. Umpire says my ball, and it's with McNamara. McNamara overcooked Wicks. Chance for Tea Tree Gully to get it, to go forward. Here's their chance. Mitch Napper has marked. With a chance to get Tea Tree Gully's 6th goal and seal this buddy bet. 24 and a half minutes into the final quarter.
Spittle, I think, with the set shot.
It is
He's been
Spittle, my
quiet today,
apology.
hasn't he? Kicked a goal early in the quarter, but he's normally quite reliable, Spittle, from the set shot.
Averages just over a goal a game. Has one today. And no one can seal it for you, Adam.
It's 4 shots, I think. they've had.
147 is the total. 15-19, 109. 5-8-38 on the Sportal scoreboard. And the Sportal app probably doing a record pace at the moment. I'll check it all out. Our game is just ahead of most of the others, so whilst TJ is doing his awards, I'll check out the final prelim results and let you know who's in the big grand finals next week across the Adelaide Footy League men's competition and who's got that all-important promotion upper division. 12 teams get relegated, 12 teams get promoted. 7 have got their berth right now. Another 5 will get it in the next 10 minutes or so. McNamara across to Craig Pitt. Works it across for Jolly. Oh, he had a big stretch, Hayden Jolly. Did that very well. Teacher Gully were threatening the intercept now to McNamara. 25 minutes. Can they get another shot before the siren? Adam and I are on the edge of our seats. At the back of the Fazy grandstand here at Hisense Stadium, the kick is intercepted the Gullies. Tape will have it. His kick's going to be turned over. One last chance for Prince Alfred. It's McNamara into the pocket. Oh, this could be it. They can't keep missing.
Trengove.
And it's Jack Trengove who put one right there. If they put a tram line down the goals, he kicked down the tram line last shot.
He's a professional, this guy, Phil.
He'll get you home, Adam. Couple of players just stretching out for the cramps. Trengove with 1 goal today, 15 for the season. 13 to, oh no, he's going to go for the pass. It's not going to come off. Adam can't believe it. Don't they know what's at stake? Napa with the clearance. The unders live for the moment. But whatever happens between us, it's going to be a very impressive win for the second straight season, I might add, to Prince Alfred.
I think it'll be a long quarter.
Still a chance here. They got it in scoring range.
This guy's not going to pass it. Have a shot, son.
And it's back with Davis. You said he's not going to pass. He has to the captain who's dropped it. It's like they're all on the unders at the moment. Finally, someone goes snap. And there it is.
The man with the headband.
McNamara.
McCosker with the goal.
McCosker scores. He raises the bat. Scores the 150 in the contest.
I think we were hoping we'd get to 150, but the scores might have been a little bit closer. Like I said, Teacher Gully's offense had been really good. You know, we saw them kick nearly 100 points at Port Districts 2 weeks ago, didn't we? But haven't been able to penetrate today. But Prince Alfred have got the job done for the Buddy Bet.
And you can see the crowd here in the Fazy stand is starting to dissipate a bit. Had lots of Glenunga people here earlier.
I think they took off at half-time.
Glenunga, of course, winning the Bees. And here's the triple header set up next week. C1s, Prince Alfred and Chock. Div 1 reserves, Goodwood Saints and Glenunga. And the big one, Glenunga Rams, looking for their first Div 1 title against Prince Alfred, looking for a third, which would be a record amongst old collegians. Plenty at stake. History's going to be made one way or the other. And it will all be on filming footy if you can't get to Norwood Oval yourself. 28 and a half gone.
This quarter has been the definition of junk time, Phil. I think, isn't it? This is how you define junk time. Scoreboard irrelevant. Players not wanting to get injured. Big oval, sunny day. Ringa, ringa, rosy.
Yeah. But it's with Tyler Martin. Surely he's not having a shot.
He can roost the ball, this guy.
He's giving it a burl, but it's going to fall short. In the middle of the goal square, they fly. Spills out the back. The siren goes after the score is registered. And Prince Alfred are into the grand final for the third straight season. After a very early challenge by Tea Tree Gully, they kicked 12 goals in succession to set up an emphatic win. It is Prince Alfred 16-19, 115. and Tea Tree Gully 5-9-39. TJ's rounding up his troops. Whilst he does that, Adam, I'll get you to say a few words and I'll try and check some other scores.
Yeah, it's disappointing when a scoreboard finishes like that, but I just want to pay respects to Tea Tree Gully first, Phil. I think, like they're ahead of schedule making a prelim final this year. Very young squad, a lot of A-grade debutants. Justin Machota back at the club this year. They've got plenty of things to work on, but great experience for his players to play in these games. Their last 2 weeks were exceptional. Just couldn't go the distance today. Once Prince Alfred broke them about 5 minutes into the second quarter, the game was over, and Prince Alfred were able to get their game back. They love this oval, Phil. Big oval, plenty of space to use the ball. They would have had 100-plus marks today at least, and a great little tune-up for what's going to be a fantastic game next week against Glenunga.
All right. Another finals come in. Greenacres are off to Division 5. They've beaten Salisbury 14-6-90 to 10-12-72. An 18-point win to Greenacres. They will face Marion in the Rams of Marion in the Division 6 grand finals. You can see some of the match highlights on your screen. I'd say if you're a Tea Tree Gully fan, watch for the next 30 seconds, and that could be close to about it.
They were really good in that first quarter, weren't they, Phil? It was such a shame, like we said, that they just fell away after that.
They did. And that was the goal, their second goal of the first quarter. Division 5 is still going, but that's a 31-point lead to Kilburn. They won't be giving that up in a hurry, and that's at the 27-minute mark, so that one hasn't got far to go. In terms of Division 4, we have a final, and CBC Old Collegians are into Division 3.
Well done to them.
The Dolphins have upset Paraka 17-10, 112 to 8-18, 66. That is a...
So Paraka finished well and truly out on top, didn't they?
Yeah, the minor premiers miss out, and I guess it's an interesting theoretical argument. We're going to have promotion. Should it be the minor premiers and the team that is the next best finisher?
The final series means so much more.
Yeah.
But it's a good.
But they are. If you want the best team for the year to go up a division, the minor premier is the better team.
Yeah.
But premiers is the special thing. Minor premier, the better team throughout. We'll argue that later because we're going to go down to Tommy Javora's Tea Tree Gully get a appropriate applause from the Lowell fans that have made the trip from Pertaringa, and thank them for their season and some great finals highlights. Speaking of highlights, let's go to Tommy Javor.
Okay, thanks for that, Phil. I'm here with the Archie's Thongs winner. Congratulations, Jordan Neal. Well done, mate. Put her there. Great game. Well, it's a tough couple of weeks for you. Suffered a really bad burn. Must have been great to get back out there today.
Oh, mate, absolutely. It was a bit of a mishap, but couldn't wait to get back out here. It was great to have a game like this, and Tea Tree Gully have had a great season, but awesome to get the win.
What's it mean for your club going through to another third grand final in a row, Div 1?
Mate, it's massive. This is a special team. A lot of older guys, a lot of younger guys, and we've just gelled really well this season. It'll be great to finish it off with a great result next week.
Brilliant, Geordie. Well, just jump over there for me for a photo, please, and I'll just throw it back up to Phil while I get the next three award winners ready. Thank you.
We got finals in Div 3 and Div 2. Modbury are into Division 2. They've beaten only Mercedes Jets by 47. Will face Flinders Park next week. And Payneham Norwood Union are back. The Falcons are back in Division 1. They have beaten Foss Camden by 41 points. They will get Golden Grove next week in the Division 2 grand final. So I think we have one that's not a final. We have actually two that's not a final, but I think we know all the winners as TJ is giving his awards. PAC waiting in the shade. Let's go back to Tommy Javor.
Oh, beautiful timing there, Phil. I'm here with three very happy campers. I'll start with the Neomorph play of the day. Normally it's the Neomorph mouthguard. Today it's Archie's Thongs. Congratulations, Tyson. The big mark on quarter time. Take us through it.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad one. Just got up there and managed to juke it, so it's good.
Didn't have your kicking boots on early, and you don't have them on now either, actually, as a matter of fact, but it came good to end up, with 4 or 5 today?
Yeah, just the 4. So, no, it was a good day, good out for the boys, so look forward to next week.
Looking forward to another match-up with the old nemesis Sam Wonky next week?
100%, let's go.
Beautiful, mate. Hang on around. Now, Jaden, you've won our best team player of the day, the Moseley Bar bar and kitchen voucher. I say you got 5. The coach reckons you got 4. How many did you get?
5, mate. Come on.
They did say you'd know. Mate, it's a great story of resilience. Obviously, you had to sit out last week because of points. You're back and you just showed your true value why you are a star.
Yeah, obviously upsetting, got dropped last week, but it was a sacrifice we had to make to bring in another ruckman. But awesome effort out here today. I'm knackered, so...
No worries, mate. I'll let you get some recovery. Let me get over the captain. Obviously, we chose it, Lockie. Absolutely outstanding. Your second quarter, I thought you were huge.
Oh, thanks. I think we actually probably played all right in the first quarter, just a little bit of polish at the end and a bit of the conversion slipped away. No, it wasn't that. It was just we had a couple of things to tidy up, and I think we tidied up in that second quarter and sort of got our game going and carried that through the rest of the game. And yeah, looking forward to next week.
No worries. I've got to ask you, is there any major injuries or just a bit of maintenance at the end there?
I don't know the status of Tom Humphrey's knee. He'd be the only one, but I think the others were just getting some guys ready and fresh for next week.
No worries. You were fantastic, as was Trenny, Wildman, all the boys. As captain, what does it mean to the club going into your third Div 1 grand final in a row?
Oh, it's just massive, but it's probably the accumulation of a lot of hard work from people behind the scenes, a lot of guys in IBs that would be comfortably getting an A-grade game at other places that sort of drives our standards and training levels, so it lets us come out and play the way we do. So, yeah, it's just a whole club effort, really. It's massive.
A great game from the skipper. I'm going to throw back up to Phil and Adam. We're going to grab some photos of these guys. Thanks very much.
Thank you, TJ. Working an epic performance as usual. Just wait till we see what we have in store for him next week.
Oh, you're nervous, Phil, I think. Tommy on the mic at ground level.
Unleashed.
Playing.
Not unhinged, that's not correct, but unleashed. Maybe unlicensed, we'll find out. We do a final from Div 5 Kilburn. High scoring game, 22-16, 148, beat Colonel Gardens 18-9, 117. That's a final. The only game that's left, 21 minutes into the final quarter, the CMAX Clinical Research Division 7 grand final. It'll be Ingle Farms Premiership. They are 2016, 136. Houghton Districts are 613, 49. So congratulations to Green Acres, Kilburn, CBC Old Collegians, Modbury and Payneham Norwood Union that have earned promotion this afternoon and a grand final berth along with Prince Alfred Old Collegians. Okay, we're going to get the club song if we can, but some other highlights. I guess the concern for PAC is just going to be Tom Humphreys. But, a pretty emphatic effort that sets them up well for next week.
Yeah, look, coming to the ground today, Phil, we were hopeful that we'd see a close encounter, but we knew this oval, if Prince Alfred could get their game going and their outside players get a lot of the ball, they're going to be super hard to beat. So, yeah, it's the result we thought would happen. Credit to Teacher Gully, though. Great experience for this mob this year. Like I said, a lot of young players you can see out there. They're just outclassed today on the field, but they'll be back next year and be feeling good for what they were able to do. But Prince Alfred far too good, and they look forward to another grand final. 3 in 3 years, 4 in 5. They missed in 2020, lost in 2019. Like 4 Division 1 grand finals in 5 years. It's a pretty special effort, Phil, isn't it? So well done to them.
All right, are we going to go down to TJ for a sec? Because he looks like he wants to talk to us.
Absolutely no need to throw to me, boys, but thanks anyway. I just want to say thank you. Wonderful day. It's a beautiful day for football. Sadly, for Teacher Gully, the run comes to an end. But PAC, Glenunga, I just want to ask you, boys, I'm not sure if you can give me... I'm going to throw my tip out there. I think PAC are a big chance next week, and Glenunga are going to hate me for saying it. Just wanted to throw that out there. I love the way they went about it. Good day of footy, boys. Thanks for having me as your boundary rider and co-commentator. Back to you.
Rest up, TJ. Which I'm sure he's going to do in the job that he does with the Sandful. Alrighty, so this week going to be massive. Weekend wrap, we're giving you all the results across the men's. That'll be out tomorrow. We've got Between the Posts grand final preview show. TJ's Division 1 wrap needs to be watched for sure and certain. Adam Jeffries, final words on today.
Yeah, like I said, it's all about commiserations to Teacher Gully. Prince Alfred, well done to them though. They were always the likely winners today. They got the job done. They get through a few minor injury concerns and some sore players, but they'll have to go to school this week. Their coaching staff, they were beaten last week. They do have a deficiency in their front half contested marking stocks that they just need to bring the ball to ground against Glenunga next week. If they can do that, and their outside players can get involved, I think it can be game on. I think we'll have a lovely warm day. We had terrible weather last year at the Division 1 Grand Final, but I think the forecast already is going to be warm and sunny. So it's going to be an absolute cracker grand final. Probably the grand final we wanted, really, with all due respect to the other teams. These are the best two teams in the competition, and they've made it through.
Yep, well, agreed. Mouth-watering matchup next week. Thanks to our sponsors, the Banner Crew, 9 News, Buddy Bet, Farmers Leap Winery,
Thank you.
Sport Hall, Roller Dice Racing, Archie Sandals, Programs to Fit, Dartfish Sports Interactive, and of course the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Thing to keep track of, the Adelaide Footy League Facebook page is probably a good place to start. Thanks to you, Adam. Thanks also to TJ working hard, Hugo, our producer, James and Liam on the cameras, our boss, Johnny Douglas, and the entire Filming Footy team. Next week we'll be back with a live streaming of 8. You've got the club song? Okay, we might end with the club song in a sec. Filming Footy back next week. We're streaming 8 grand finals, including a triple header from Norwood Oval. But that'll be starting about 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm Phil Hurden saying thanks for joining us today. We'll finish with a pretty happy Prince Alfred side. You've been watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.